Check, check, check. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, Patriot Land. How are we? Let's get everybody in here. Let's make sure you guys could hear me okay. Let me turn up my own volume over here. That would help, huh? All right, there we are. Let's see. All righty. So, good. Let's see who's in the house. First of all, Kirsty, one of our team in the house from Calgary, of course. Just like Trevor says, where's everyone watching from? Hi, guys. How are ya? Looking nice, Bruce. Hey, how about that? I can clean up well. Missouri in the house. All right. So we're going to let everybody come on, get in here. We are streaming live right now to Rebel, to Facebook, to Twitter, to where else? Oh man, I am streaming to YouTube. Before I bring the co-host in here, we have to watch what we're saying tonight. Let's be careful out here, okay? Because I just realized I'm streaming live to YouTube. I really don't care. They shut me down. Who cares? Because we got a lot to talk about tonight. Got some things to talk about in news, and we're going to talk a little bit about MyFix TV. I got some exciting news for you there. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Long time no see. Been missing you. Okay. I did not know I was missing. It's news to me. All right. We have Illinois in the house. Illinois, Wisconsin. All right. Northwest Indiana. Cookeville, Tennessee. That sounds good, actually. Cookeville. I'm always on here asking people when we roll into town ever to make sure we find a place to go where people will cook for us. New York is in the house. All right. Blessings from Nevada. Hi, Bruce and Patriot family. Oh, that gives us an excuse to go see Kim and we can go gamble. Oklahoma Boomer. Rifle, Colorado. Does that have anything to do with Rifle Coffee? Interesting. Uh-oh. We have an Arizona person in the house. So I guess that's a good segue. So since we have an Arizona person in the house, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. All right. And let's go ahead and bring in Mr. Arizona himself. Mr. Joe Gleason, how are you, brother?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm well, too. How is the weather in Arizona?
Sunny and hot. It's June in Arizona. That's what you expect. It's sunny and hot. I think we're right at 100 today.
Right.
Just cruising. We're right at altitude. It's easy. So, Drew and Avondale, I'm up in Surprise. So I'm just hop, skip, and a jump away. It's like,
are you
10-15 minutes away? Yeah.
Oh, there you go. We have Wichita Falls, Texas. Hey, do we have anybody from the great state of Pennsylvania in the house? Anybody from PA? Let's take a look here. We got North Carolina's in the house. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Rob, Philly, PA. Right in Philly. So, speaking of Philadelphia, well, not necessarily Philly, but Pennsylvania, I guess we'll go ahead and bring on our other third person, if you will. Joe and I see Trevor's in the green room right now, and he's waiting to come on here. And Joe literally told me we got to quit feeding his ego and calling him the good-looking guy with the long hair when we introduce him. Right. I said, now I got to come up with a new gimmick. How do I introduce him? So, So without further ado, let's bring in Trevor Crash Knight. Trevor, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, guys? My hair's not ready yet. Come on. Don't bring me on yet. What's going on, everybody? How's everyone's weekend going?
Weekend's going okay. Okay, how about you? How's the weekend?
Very busy and tiring, but here we are, ready to end the weekend with all of you guys.
Just riding around in your muscle car? Is it a Trans Am you got?
Firebird, but yeah.
Firebird. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Right. Yes. But yesterday the weather kind of scared off some people, so we kind of didn't really go out yesterday. But Thursday and Friday was pretty fun, so I can't complain.
Okay. Well, you do see three of us here tonight, and you notice that one is missing. Anna is missing. First of all, she has family this weekend and a lot going on. And secondly, Anna is taking on a lot of responsibility now. First of all, she is running our new TikTok page account, and she's been posting a lot of videos, and it's been her face. She's been the face of TikTok. I don't have a lot of time to get involved with that, so I handed her the keys to everything there. And when I check in on it, she's doing a wonderful job. She just landed she moved from Kami, California to where'd she move, guys? Twin Falls, Idaho, I think it was.
Idaho, yeah.
Idaho. And she just landed a job there, so which is wonderful for her. So she's got her hands full, and she's also looking to just say this, implement herself in another area with MindFix TV. Okay, so she is not on here tonight. So Anna, we miss you, and just letting everybody know. So it is back to the Three Amigos. So we are back here, and
Do this.
Oh, hey.
like the movie
Chevy Chase, Martin
Right.
Short, and Steve Martin.
Right.
So yeah, great movie. Hey, let's do something real quick before we get into everything. Apparently, we got some. I don't have everything going on. So apparently we have, let's see, where did I have it at here? Something about, and you guys could fill us in. And then once we do that, I'm going to tell you how you can call into the show tonight. If you want to call in, you can do so. Okay. So let me grab this. So sorry about that. I'm just a little bit behind. I'll grab this here and we'll put this on the screen. Here we go. It's coming right in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so apparently a plane has crashed in Virginia, flew through a no-fly zone coming close to both the White House and the U.S. Capitol. I don't have much on this right now per se, but apparently I don't know if they were the military jets were scrambled, I'm told. When I heard this, a little flashback from 9/11. Hate to say it, that's the first thing I felt. So this is some breaking news. I don't have full details on it because I will not lie to the audience. I was taking a nap and I woke up to this and I'm like, whoa. So apparently if it was much bigger, but apparently it's no longer a threat. It's been taken care of. I think the plane had problems or something like that. So if anybody in the comments knows what was going on with that, please let us know, and we'll go ahead and we'll keep an eye on that as the show's going on tonight. I'll jump on over to Twitter and a couple other places and take a look and see what the full story is. So we're coming in on top of this news as well. So,
but it looks like that's just like a prop plane, right? And they're not saying like a big passenger,
like a Cessna
airliner
or something.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. So it's no commercial airline or anything like that. So, but it gets your attention.
Or thermite missiles.
Yeah. But it does get your attention because when you hear they scrambled the fighter jets, it's like okay. So but anyways, all right. Well, here we go. Donna says distraction possibly with Biden news coming. There's always Biden news coming, so that's for sure. Did you guys see him fall?
Yeah, especially after his trip yesterday at the Air Force Academy, or what was it 2 days ago now? Sometime over the weekend, he had a nice little trip. That's probably going to be even more. I don't know which one is going to be more classic, the one where he's going up to Air Force One plane on the set of stairs, or this Air Force Academy one. I don't know.
All of them.
Well,
all of them.
Yeah, they're all pretty funny, but which one's gonna stick in the normie mind, basically?
It took maybe less than 10 minutes before the good old golf hit, Trump hitting the golf ball and knocking Biden over by the back of the head to hit the internet. So
right. There'll be someone that's creative that comes up with something good for that. Yeah,
that's for sure.
I personally, to answer your question, I think the fall at the graduation is more. It's just so much more like public, it's like it's happening in front of that large audience that's right there in person. So I don't know, it's just not a good look for commander-in-chief, the leader of the free world, to be stumbling all around, and I mean it's just another example of just kind of the buffoonery that we all get to witness on a daily basis. So
Yep. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to show everybody. We're going to talk. I got a few things loaded. We're going to I'm going to give you. I'll do my best. There's not much I could spoil, but I'm going to give you my review of the movie Nefarious that I saw yesterday. Finally, it is out there. You can get it on a couple platforms. You can get it on YouTube too. It's on YouTube. It's all for rent right now. So I did want to have a watch party, but I wasn't able to. And then also we'll speak a little bit about. There's not much I can say per se, but we'll bring the folks in. We'll talk about the Chosen Christian series about Christ, and there was some controversy about a pride flag on set. It goes deeper than that. I did do my research, and a statement did come out from them, so I can't get too deep into it. But I would just like to talk about. I'll put it this way. I have a film going to be coming up, being on set soon, and I will give you my opinion who I want on set. So I'll just leave it like that. Okay. So we'll get to that in a little bit. So what I'd like to do, real quick, did you guys see this before I tell everybody how they can call on the show? Again, if you're just joining us and you want to call into the show, okay, I'm going to provide you a link. And all you have to do is click that link. And you want to use your cell phone. And once you click that link, it is going to take you right into this show. You're going to be kicked into the green room like a waiting room. All right. You won't be on. And then you're going to see when you see yourself, you got to give your phone permissions as well. Like you allow everything's safe. And then you want to hit, there's a button right below where you're going to see your face. And it says to stop the camera, turn the camera off. So if you do not want to be seen and you just want to be a caller on the show, just turn that camera off and we'll bring you on. All I ask that anybody, it's a free for all. Whatever you want to ask, if it goes with the topics we're talking about, okay, as well, you can do that. I just ask that you watch your language. Don't drop any F-bombs or anything like that.
We're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook right now. And if Joe, remind me, we're going to kind of tell everybody how this show is about to split hours. Okay. We're going to have hour 1 here and hour 2 is going somewhere else. Not tonight, but probably within the next couple of weeks. So there's exciting stuff coming, and we are setting ourselves apart from a lot of people. I told you that we are going to give you original content, original programming, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We have some announcements to make, and we have some also opportunities for you who are watching there at home to get involved with us, because this particular company is growing, and it's growing fast. And I cannot believe the people who have come into our path. The universe, divine intervention has opened a great door for MindFix TV over here. And I am so thrilled about that. So without one thing, and then let me show you this clip. It's going to infuriate.
I'm just laughing at Ida's comment. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, there you go. I'll stay in my corner because lately F-bombs are my best friend. I'm sure they are. You should hear me behind the screen too. You know, I am not perfect. I do know that a downfall of one of my 2 co-hosts, the F-bomb is their favorite word. I won't say which one of these 2 gentlemen, but one of the 2 definitely love that F-bomb. That's all I'll say.
It might surprise you.
Might surprise you. Yeah. So
it's the
let's just leave it at that.
I was gonna make a joke, but I don't think I can.
Don't do that. Okay.
I have you also, I just want to throw in real quick, since we're kind of reviewing and setting the table here. You had posted, I think it was like Thursday or Friday, about how that I think it's Matt Walsh that did What Is a Woman, the documentary.
It's on our Rumble right now.
I watched that the other night because I'd seen like little snippets kind of through social media and whatnot, but I watched the whole thing. It fascinates me.
Yes.
That whole situation, and it's not even like bashing the whole LGBTQ, all that stuff. It's not bashing at all. They're asking questions.
Correct.
And it amazes me how he goes to, I don't want to spoiler alert too much stuff here, but it just amazes me how many people that he goes to that you would think would be able to just in a sentence or two be able to sort of answer the question, what is a woman?
Right.
And that question triggers them. They get upset and they get defensive, and it's interesting. So I would recommend it for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, to go check it out. And it really kind of feeds into all the stuff we've run up against, whether it be about taking the vax, or about what the whole idea is with the COVID agenda and all that. It's kind of that same like divisive kind of theme that we've seen repeatedly. That they create something, and then they divide us. And now that we see the formula, I think we should just know and be aware that that's what it's clearly an agenda. I mean, you can't have that. It's not a coincidence at this point, right? So it's just what we have to be very aware of, and know that there are some that are programmed this way, and some that are like, wait, I'm just asking questions. So but I would encourage everyone to go check it out.
And to follow up on Joe's statement there, it is on our Rumble at MindFix TV. Now, let me explain that, okay? I will never, under any circumstances, because I am an independent filmmaker myself. Trevor is heavily involved in the independent music scene. We're getting involved with, let's just say, a lot of independent musicians and films coming up here and working in hand with another company, which we'll talk about here later in the show. It's big news. And then I would never put anything on Rumble. See, Rumble has the opportunity, like I could put on there, for example, like Scotty Marr puts on his videos out there, and he puts them to it's copyrighted music, but he's not cashing in on that. Okay, you cannot put copyrighted music on YouTube. Me and Trevor learned the hard way, because we were doing a music rock show, and a couple of the videos that we were doing, it was MTV style. They got flags, and we're like, well, we got to go back to the drawing board. We got to figure this out again. So, but that is something that is definitely down the road coming back. I can tell you that, because I love that. But needless to say, I will never put anything up on Rumble just because I can get away with a copyright. The reason What Is a Woman is on Rumble right now, as of yesterday, at MindFix TV, is because Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire released it for free to the public. So now it's free out there, and then it flooded everywhere. And so a lot of pages have it already, and they're showing it. So since they allowed it to be free, I put it up there. All credit goes to Matt Walsh and not MindFix TV. I want that to be known. On the disclaimer, on the description, it clearly says Matt Walsh, and he's over at Daily Wire, and I'm well aware of that. So I'll never do anything to take away food off the table from independent artists. I would be just the biggest hypocrite in the world if that was the case. So, but if they offer it free and they get, because it's been out there, it was for rent and they were charging for it, which rightfully so, they should, because a lot of work and money goes into those type of productions. And then because they need to recoup their money, and then I'm sure Matt wants to do another one. Doesn't mean What Is a Woman.
And I think that's probably why he's releasing that, is so that people will get an idea of how his style works and the types of questions he asks. And he does come off as just asking questions. I mean, I didn't get any sense of him bullying or badgering or being unfair. If they're gonna push the agenda and push the narrative, it's fair to ask questions back. And I don't like that. So, but yeah, absolutely. In terms of all the trademarking and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, anyone who knows that they're in the wrong or have like absolutely no answer to what they're pushing always gets defensive. You always get problems with those people. So that in and of itself just tells you what is behind all this.
Right.
So
exactly. Hey, I want to change the subject real quick. One of the viewers right now, I want to bring up the comment. Here we go. The pilot of the small plane passed out and crashed in the Virginia mountain. Jets were scrambled to follow. So that is the story of what's going on, of the top story of the breaking news we led off the show with. So apparently, probably like a Cessna plane or something. Eventually, he passed out, crashed in the Virginia mountain. That's terrifying. And jets were scrambled to follow. Anytime I hear of when I hear of jets scrambled to follow, I think of 9/11. And anytime I hear of a small plane crashing, guess who I think of? JFK Jr. So it's just the way my mind's wired because of all the, conspiracy theories, if you will. So
speaking of conspiracy theories with that, which I don't even know how much of a conspiracy theory it would be at this point, but are they saying that potentially could be a accident? You're seeing a lot of those forced vaccinations in that industry, and I know this probably sounds like it's more of a private situation, but wonder if it's not an accident.
right, we don't know that. Hey, have you guys seen the story on Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I mean, he's like pretty much in hiding. I know an article came out with his daughter saying everything's fine. Of course they're going to say that, okay? But apparently a lot of people are getting, I go by the news sources and the articles who's putting what out there. It's very hard to decipher and sometimes discern. It sounds like they're saying he's not only paralyzed but blinded from this, from the stroke.
I mean, supposedly he was resisting getting the juice, and
Yes.
that the studio was basically forcing him.
Yep.
So it's not. I mean, unfortunately, he acquiesced, but I'm not in his position where I'm making tens of millions of dollars for each movie. I mean, it's easy for me to say, but
Right.
But unfortunately, now he's in a. It is pretty clear that, I mean, they're basically saying from what I'm seeing, it's pretty clear that they're associating all of this with the vax, right? Like,
Right.
It's not like it's unrelated. I mean, he's basically saying that essentially, right? Or that's what the narrative is.
They are.
It's all going to come out here really soon, I think. Once we start, because apparently, like, some people say that it takes about 2 years, like, for the Bad Batches to really rear its head. And obviously, I think a good amount of the batches were also just, neutered, like nothing. It was just basically placebo effect. But there are bad batches out there. I totally believe that. And, it's kind of like with the Damar Hamlin thing, the safety for the Buffalo Bills, that whole event did not go as planned. I think my personal opinion, I think he died that night, that he passed out on the field. I do not believe that he came back right like a month after to the playoff game. And there's a lot of things that don't add up in that whole story if you followed it closely. So
right.
This is just going to be another one of those things. And whoever follows it closely is going to be closest to the answer.
Right, exactly. So
we're seeing a lot of, I'm in the financial industry, and so there's news coming out from the insurance actuaries of showing, like, statistically the especially in the younger segments of the population where there wouldn't be an explainable jump, like an exponential jump in people passing away. And I think so I'll give you a story. I was working with someone recently that had what's called an inherited IRA, and which means it's an IRA from, they inherited it, right? It wasn't their IRA. And they have to be structured very specifically so that there's not a taxable event, and there's certain criteria that have to happen. So I called the company that I was looking to have it roll over to, and I said, hey, we're going to do a rollover, an inherited IRA, and rolling it over. That's fine. I could do it. Well, found out a few weeks later that no, unfortunately, with this particular application, we couldn't do it because the person had to pass away before January of 2020. So this company is flat out saying, like, and so I was like, well, that's odd timing. What happened around January of 2020?
Right.
So luckily we did find a solution, but it's like now those little nuancy, nichey little things that we've never had to deal with as a society. And in my industry, that's how it's reared itself, but it'll pop up in other industries too. When you think about just a vast percentage of the population inexplicably passing away,
And same thing I've heard, even like Kay said here with the life insurance policies. I've heard that as well. A lot of people are not getting like their life insurance stuff because one of the main reasons, I think, because of that is because it wasn't certified by the FDA. It was used
for experimental. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly right.
emergency use. So that is very interesting because, like, did they just? I'm gonna have to go back and look at this. They just ended that like a month ago or so, and there was something big, a big story that remember it vaguely, but I can't remember like what the other side of the story was of why he ended the emergency act with the vaccines and stuff. So I will get back to everyone on that because that was pretty important. I didn't really talk about it much when that came out. So, but it was quite like a cool little Easter egg. Well, not maybe not cool little Easter egg, but like very interesting, as to
Right.
why they did it now. So
Right.
yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. So, of course, we'd be liars on the show if we said we knew exactly what was going on, but we don't.
Right.
So, at the first of all, just to be respectful to the family, whatever's going on, regardless. And I don't care if you're part of a bad side or your views are that or whatever. And I don't wish death upon anybody or ill
Right.
will. So, my prayers go out to Jamie Foxx and his family as well, for sure. So, we'll find out in time. So, we are now basically seeing the repercussions of us conspiracy theorists saying, don't take that. And again, I can go on all night and saying how I lost a lot of friends. I
Right.
had people, I actually had people who, they passed away. They had family members passed away, and I got a scathing, unfiltered, very vulgar messages in my message box for even considering and saying the words out of my mouth that it's a pandemic and this is not real. This isn't happening, and you're being psychologically screwed.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that's why it's important that we talk about it here, at least to some extent. We don't have to talk about it all night, obviously, but I think that because we're here talking about it, not only is, and I certainly echo your sentiments about not wishing ill will,
right,
even on people that maybe weren't so nice to us, right?
Right,
I'm still not.
exactly.
I'm going to turn the other cheek, kind of thing, right?
Yep.
That said, how that manifests itself out into society, whether it's in the financial industry, whether it's in the commerce industry, whether it's in the retail industry, like it's going to trickle through because this is global, obviously, right? So
Right.
that's going to. I mean, look at the airline industry. In the all of the industries that force their workforce, they're going to be impacted most likely. So I think from that standpoint, not so much cheering on the bad side of it, but just sort of discussing and talking through the ramifications,
Right.
and then just how it impacts our families and friend groups and all that as well. I think it's important to at least be able to talk through it.
Absolutely. So let's see here. I want to bring this up. We're going to get into this too in a minute, about The Chosen, but here's what I'd like to do. Okay, guys, here we go. So before we go any further, we're already half an hour into the show. Let's try something highly experimental. Now, this is one way to call into the show. Very simple. So what I'm going to do is copy this. All right. So in the comment section right now, okay, and I'll bring it on the screen, but you're going to have to go to the comment section, all right, in order to copy and paste this link, okay? So I'm putting a link in there, and it is up. Okay, now, if you are on Facebook or YouTube, all right, you're going to see that. Now, that link there, you could go ahead and put that link in, and it's going to bring you into our show. Now, you do not have to show your face. Once you hit that link, you're automatically kicked in here. You won't come on the live feed. You'll be put into the green room. You have the option to go ahead and hit turn your camera off. It's just right below the video of you. You'll see yourself and you're like, I don't want to be on TV. That's perfectly fine. Get rid of that. And you can even put an avatar up there. It could be blank, but we'll be able just to bring your voice up like a radio show. So this is like you calling in right now to a show. If you're driving in your car, and which is the good news, okay? Not seeing this in the comments, okay? Hold on a second. I'll do this
Who
too.
wants to be the first person to call in?
Hold on. I will.
Like...
I'm going to put this in the comments right now. Hold on. I'm going to Facebook. I'm putting it in the comments. And right now, hold on, it's posting. There you go. It is in the Facebook comments now. All you need to do is click that. Okay. Now, Kirsty, you have your own show, ma'am. So I'm teasing you. All right. There you go. And let me see if I can pin it to the comments.
She was trying to help. I can speak for her.
Yeah, I know she was. I know. God love her. She's doing. I'll tell you what she's doing, man. She is really kicking ass because she is on it. She's prepared every week. It's only been 2 shows, and she's doing great. She's really doing great.
I bet I know what her next show is about.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, you know what?
And call that on a Sunday night show.
Guys, listen to
Right.
this.
Yeah.
This is great to talk about right now. Okay. This is, and when she told me this, okay, I'm like, yes. I didn't even ask, would you do it? I said, you got to do it. You're doing it. So apparently, Kirsty's next show, she's going someplace. She's leaving Canada, right, Joe? And she's going to Arizona, and she's going to be with Joe, and they're going to do the Kirsty show together. We are about to find out some Trevor, we have to tune in because we're going to find out some stuff about Joseph here and their relationship.
That should be fun. That sounds like a party.
What we're gonna do is the goal is she's for those who maybe haven't seen her show, her show is a lot about relationships and communication. And for folks that may not know, I'm the Red Pill financial guy, and so what we're going to talk about is money and relationships and communication, and how those intertwine, and how important it is to be able to communicate and to work through. Because and I don't want to steal all the thunder from the show, but one of the number one reasons people get divorced is over money and things like that. It can create a lot of stress. It can create a lot of synergy. So we're gonna work it out. We're gonna have a good show.
Absolutely. Again, let me put it in the comments once more. The invite. I have a problem, guys, with pinning comments. They don't give me that option. Facebook is on me. So I used to have it, but I don't have it anymore. So let me go ahead and copy that. And I go to YouTube Facebook once more. And I'm putting it in right now. And there it is. Okay. And I'll bring my comment up, and it's in there. It's in there, and that's it. It's StreamYard.com, and then it has a code. It looks like I5Q9NWHQJE. This changes every single show. It just protects our show. So again, if you call in, you're going to be kicked into the waiting room. You're just going to sit there, and we'll bring you in. It's going to ask you to put your name. You don't have to put your name. See, like you could see, let me take that off of there. You can see our names right now. You can go ahead and put anonymous, but I would like to ask you to put in your name, put down whatever state you're calling from. So I can act like Larry King with my suspenders and say, now we're going to Little Pebble, Idaho. So we really want to try this. So go ahead. That's the link. All you have to do is click that link with your cell phone, and it's going to bring you right into the show. You do have to. Here's the only 2 things, which is mostly everybody does. If you're on a smartphone, which is an Android, you got to use Google Chrome. Or if you're calling from an iPhone, wasn't it?
Safari.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, we tested it this morning with a few people. I tested it with Trevor. It works perfectly fine. Again, you will not be seen. You're just calling into the show. So please go ahead and do that. We would love to try this out tonight. And
so I'm new to this, Bruce. If they do want to be seen, can they be?
Yes. You can keep your video on. You do not have, there's one button right below your video. You hit it and you'll see yourself disappear, and you'll be just a blank screen, kind of like exactly like a blank profile pic on Facebook. That's what's going to show up. Okay. So this way you don't have to be seen, because not everybody is comfortable being seen. And now we're getting a lot of viewers. Lots of people watch us on Rumble, which we're very thankful about. So let's get it going. This is a new part to the show. This is the first way to call in. Later on this month, you're going to have another option on how to call in, and we're working on that right now as we speak. So, okay. So
with you being like Larry King now, Bruce, does that mean like when you're 80 years old, are you gonna have like a young child and a young wife as well? So that's
Hey,
gonna be interesting, I guess, right?
speaking of Trevor, did you see Mr. 83-year-old Al Pacino's having a child?
I did
My
not see
goodness.
that.
His 29-year-old girlfriend is pregnant and he's having a child.
That seems to happen a
Wow.
lot in Hollywood, don't it?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So I see we got somebody coming on. Art, if you do not want to be seen, look, you can stay on video. If you do not want to be seen, right below your video, you can turn the camera off. So right now, let's give an experiment here. So I'll give it a moment. Let's see if this works. All right. So I have one person who has just joined the chat to call into the show. Again, you can keep yourself on film or on video, or you can hide your face. So let's go ahead. Let's give this a try. So right now we're bringing in Mr. Art Ross. Maybe I should set this up because Mr. Art Ross is the CEO. Maybe I have the title wrong, okay? But he is the CEO of the new, which we have big news for everybody, of the new and upcoming platform, Pop Talk. Art, are you there?
I'm here. Can you see me?
We can definitely see
There he
you.
is.
All right.
How are you?
Art.
Great. What you see is what you get. I was getting ready to put some steaks on the grill, so I thought I'd just let everybody see me the way it is.
There you go.
I take that back. He is the COO, Chief Operating Officer?
Yep.
Yes. So he is the COO of Pop Talk. Again, we have great things coming. Well, I did not expect Art to join us this evening, and he is here. So it may be a good segue for us to talk about a few things. So, Art, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Well, hi. Hopefully, some of you have hopped over and seen Pop Talk. It's the social media platform of a large umbrella called Pop Global Media Incorporated. We've got quite a few things coming out after that. So, Pop Talk, of course, is social. We've jammed in our own version of Amazon or a marketplace, a robust marketplace where you can sell goods and services there. What's cool about that one is we actually clear everything for you. So we pay you don't have to worry about a shopping cart or anything like that. So we clear everything for you. We charge 3% for the credit card, 2% for us to build the platform and handle all that stuff. So that part's cool. We got that's already published. Hopefully, again, some of you have seen that, but we've got several cool music streaming platforms. The one that's up is called Pop Tunes. And over there, currently, you can enjoy any kind of music you can imagine and no commercials. So that's pretty cool. We have aimed that at independent musicians, and got all kinds of cool stuff happening behind that. One of the things musicians needed or wanted is some way to move really fat files around, like WAV files. So we created another one called Pop Files, which allows us to move really heavy files around and let people, independent musicians, collaborate. Got Pop Video coming out really quickly. That's probably something you guys might want to talk about later.
Yes.
And then Pop Go and the Pop Video is our YouTube Killa. So we're going to be competing with YouTube on that one. And Pop Go is our Google Killa. It's a search engine, just like Google. So we'll have all of that up and running pretty quickly.
That is amazing what they have going on over there. I won't lie to you. We did make an announcement a little while back that we were working with the folks over at Pop Talk. We did have a meeting this week, the other day, all of us via video for 2 hours. It went on for, and it was a very productive meeting. We were very excited. Joe and I talked afterwards as well off the air about this, and the opportunities that are there are quite exciting. Before we go any further, what I want the viewers at home to know, okay, is why you did this, who you are, what is the reason behind it. I'm just going to say a spoiler. It's patriots who have decided to step up. And I can tell you this, Art's probably not going to give you a number. I won't give you a number. But from what I've heard, there is a lot of money that went into this. So, Art, tell the viewers at home why you did this.
Uh, well, I'll back up a step farther than just the Patriot side of it, because it happens that you need to know that we're, I guess, very technical in nature. We all have our own agencies where we build websites and help people rank on Google and do Facebook ads and Google ads and all that kind of stuff. Mine is since 2014. Peter Ray, the CEO, he's been doing search engine optimization websites since before 2000. So he's a lifer at this. So we come from a very technical background. And so when we decided we were going to compete with the likes of Facebook, YouTube, and Google, it came from a technical reason to start with, that every time we'd help by helping customers, we'd figure out the algorithm and figure out how to get people to the first page of Google without having to pay for ads. And that's a pretty cool, very expensive project for some people. Some small companies like myself, I was paying $5,000 a month back in 08, 09, 10, and I didn't even know what I was doing. And that's really what started me after going into the technical reasons of how all this stuff works. But in the process of figuring all that out, we decided that the best way to handle it is just do our own. Like, we have our own Facebook, have our own Google and YouTube. Then nobody could surprise us, and we really think that there's some nefarious reasons that they change the algorithms the way that they do. So that's what started it. But along the way, 09, somebody very important was nominated to president, and things started changing really rapidly in the conservative world, and people started getting silenced and banned and modified and shadow banned and the whole 9 yards. So as we were building the software, it became super apparent that not only is there a business reason for duplicating and competing with these guys, but there's a very patriotic reason that we no longer are patriots or conservatives, don't have a voice. Right. News is not going to cover our voices. News is not going to cover people that are, Christian conservatives. And then even on places where we can talk, like Facebook and Google and YouTube, if they're shadow banning us, Twitter, we all know now what Twitter was going through. So it's not a something that we think was happening. We absolutely know for sure that the government was spearheading thousands of phone calls to stop conservative people. Even non-influential people were having their comments just taken down, and then those people were shadow banned. So the more we got into it, the darker things got, and now this platform is really taken on a patriotic sense that we have built these things, and the purpose really is to have a social place and play, like Pop Talk, but also have some tools that we can use, and not only use, but not have to worry about getting Google's top 20 and YouTube censorship and all that kind of stuff. So this whole platform has taken on a kind of a life of its own for the patriotic movement.
One of the things that I really there's many things that you have put together on there. I will tell everybody at home that we are honored to have partnered, if you will, with and I got to watch how I say that. It's not like we are we're owning Pop Talk, or I'm an official CEO. Nothing like that at all. But we have partnered. We have come to an agreement to be a part of Pop Talk in more ways than one, more ways than just posting content, which there will be a lot of content rerouted to Pop Talk. I like the fact that the gentleman behind it, I will tell the audience at home, the gentlemen behind it are extremely smart, knowledgeable, humble, come from a Christian background, and are patriots. Okay. So I have real quick before I go any further, we have a question. Will we still have the chance to be cloned or hacked on Pop Talk? Art, can you answer that question?
Absolutely not. It's an impossibility to be cloned. Somebody that would come in, and you can't have the same name. Anything that looks similar, like letters or words before the same name, get flagged, and a real person is going to be looking at those things, not bots, and certainly not automatically added to the group. So we have a really cool way to make sure people aren't cloning accounts and then hack. Same thing as having your account.
So no Bruce Cinders.
Yeah, right. Got a few out there.
Right.
It's possible with a name change spelling that you could get somebody that's
right
pretending to be you, but so we'll be monitoring that pretty closely.
Free advertisement. So this is a good opportunity right now, folks. If you're in the watching right now, especially if you're on YouTube and Facebook right now, you're able to comment, and we can bring it on the screen. If you have any questions for Art right now, who is the COO of Pop Talk, I will say it's somewhat of a replica of Facebook. I've been telling people, if I go down on Facebook, you're going to find me over there. No question about that. And that's why we've been having a lot of meetings and how we're going to implement this. We have many good ideas and strategies to do this. I said, if I had, I understand that people, they do come to my platform. Joe had to convince me. Joe was the one who convinced me. It's like, Bruce, you're kind of a leader and a brand here, and I hate it because I hate being on camera. I may sound professional, but this is the most uncomfortable that I always am, is this time of the week is when I'm on camera. But to get over, I would, if I could, and I had that power, I'd say, I'm leaving Facebook today. Everybody come with me. And if they would, I would do it in a heartbeat. So, but we're going to do it in a way that I think we're going to slowly introduce everybody to all the amazing features that they have on Pop Talk. There is a lot more than Facebook offers right now. I think what we like, that question that was posed, people are concerned about being hacked or cloned and bots and all that. And you just answered that as well. One thing too, they also have Pop Video. Okay. It's pretty much like YouTube. They, I won't get into the details. Okay. They're not ripping them off. They have everything on Pop Talk is legit. It is legal. It is licensed. I'll ask a question right now. Okay. And it's probably the number one question I get from everybody, especially in my messenger. When will Pop Talk have a official app?
As soon as possible. Unfortunately, it's not up to us, but we've been working with both of the primary phone suppliers so we submitted apps in December to both companies, and Apple's been the most vivacious, I guess, and we just finished a 5-page application going back to them, and they have legitimate concerns, I suppose. What they say is, hey, they're sending their customers over to our platform. They want to make sure not only does it work, and that they obviously can see that who we are is who we say we are, and what people can do is, and they're just really meticulously looking for links, like backdoor links, going to some shady, a Russian platform or something weird, I suppose. But they didn't say that, but they are meticulously scouring the platform to make sure that things are exactly what they say they are. So security is a big issue for them. It is for us too, but so we have to have all of our T's crossed, I's dotted, so they can see that we've done our homework, and when they send their customers, they're getting exactly what we say they're getting.
Gotcha. Over here, Debbie says, how about a Pop Talk tutorial show? I'll tell you what, I'd be more than glad, and I've actually thought about it. It's like once a few things are finalized that we're all working on together, I'd be more than glad to do an entire show on that, bring up Pop Talk, and walk everybody through it. It is not difficult at all. The amount of choices that are available to the public are really something else. It's going to take, Art will be the first one to admit, it takes time to build, to get an audience over there. They are looking for social media influencers, which I think is brilliant way to get people over there. They have a number of people. We're not the only ones. They have a number of people they've talked to, independent artists. One thing that drew me, here's the thing, and I want Joe to chime in too as well, and Trevor, because it fell into our lap. Okay. And I'm a big believer in, if the universe opens a door, it's not my job to question. My job is to walk through that door. So Pop Talk fell into our lap. And I thought, okay, let me walk through this door and see what's going on. And then I was apprehensive. I won't lie to you. And I was apprehensive for a while because I didn't know how this was going to work. But after several talks and meetings, and Joe had one-on-one meetings, and then we had a group meeting recently, I'm more and more and more excited. Okay. So, but with the pop video and everything else coming out, they are geared towards something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is giving independent artists a platform. I have been on here, and all of you who are watching, everybody who follows this show, always says, we're sick of Hollywood. We're sick of the music choices. I can't watch this. I can't watch because a certain artist is in it because they run their mouth now, and they're just so far left and gone. It's repulsive to watch them. But now they're giving a platform to indie artists. He pointed out a number of indie artists to us in our meeting the other day. And I also said to Art, I says, hey, these indie artists that you're working with, they got some big numbers as well on other platforms too. I mean, real big numbers. And I'm like, can you get these guys if we wanted them to come on our show and be interviewed? He says, they're in my phone. I can make a phone call and get it done. So we're going to it's tying into what I've been talking about for probably 2 years now, giving a platform to independent artists, bringing them on and showing the public there is a lot more out there than I'm going to offend people now than your garbage Taylor Swift music and everything else that's out there. So, but it is out there. Am I correct, Art? I mean, the independent artist platform is something you're genuinely focusing on as well.
Yeah, 2 years ago, we were not only just building all this technology, so Pop Talk with the marketplace, that platform has 34 million lines of code. So if you know anybody or can ask somebody or look it up to see what code is worth, it's practically impossible, according to most experts, for somebody to decide today that they want to compete with somebody like Twitter, or Twitter's relatively small. Like when you take Twitter, it's like 10% of that, 3 to 4 million lines of code. Mm-hmm. Facebook has 36, 37 million lines of code. Mm-hmm. So just to give you an idea how impressive that is, and it's impressive to me. I'm not a code writer. Peter and some of the teams that we've hired have generated all that code. Some of the code that Peter had been working on was way before I met him. Back in 2014, I think, is when he started working on Pop Talk. So it takes a lot of effort, a lot of manpower to generate that kind of code. And then to make it work is another thing. But once we realized that we have to get people on here, I knew we needed to get influencers, and I play bass, not good at all, but I played bass in church. And so, but I watched my uncle. This is a really cool story. My uncle passed away last 2 years ago, but I watched my uncle break himself in the music business trying to make it. Now, I don't know if he was actually good enough to make it, but he went to Nashville and cut songs, didn't ever have a complete album, but he met people and toured, and people that I met that seen him said he was amazing. But so I went to Nashville and got a taste of it myself. And you go to Broadway and just walk into a bar and you sit down next to somebody, and are you in the music industry? Oh man, I'm trying to make it. Everybody's trying to make it. I mean, there'd be seldom that you'd find somebody unless they owned a bar or something that were trying to make it. So 2 years ago, I went down there and sat in a bar and met a guy that introduced me to Brandon Hart. Mm-hmm. And so guys like that are just all over the place, super talented. But do you think, what are the odds that they're going to make it to one of the top 4 or 5 labels? It's like salmon swimming upstream, but even harder. So what they all told me is they just need a way to get heard. And so Pop Tunes is the brainchild behind us trying to figure out a way to get them heard. So if you go on there and look at Pop Tunes, you scroll down, look at country rap, and you'll see Brandon Hart right next to Johnny Cash.
All right, cool.
I'm actually logging in right now, so I could bring it up onto the screen for the viewers, and I will share that with everybody. Okay.
I would just say while you're doing that, Bruce, that
go ahead.
My impression is that that people don't look at it as a Facebook alternative. if you were to really kind of have one stop for YouTube equivalent, Facebook equivalent, iTunes equivalent, and so much more, Amazon, etc., it can be a one spot to go and let all that stuff live. And if you're looking for something that has values that align with most of us that are doing the show or that are watching the show, then I want to support and be a part of a group like that. So, and the other thing is that just knowing that you will be there and all the other shows in that are here part of Mindfix TV, that it's not going to go down because of some word that's said that they don't like, or that we have a place that we can be that everyone knows will be here, and we're working with people that we're very like-minded. So that's what I'm excited about with the Pop Talk partnership and strategic partnership that we're helping each other. And to be a part of something at the beginning is really exciting too. To not come in, like we're nobody. Like we get to be a part of their ascension too. So I think that's really exciting. And everyone that's watching and everyone that's signing up and being a part of that, you're at the beginning of all that too. So it's all of us that get to be a part of that. What are your thoughts, Trevor?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just like a one-stop shop, basically, for everything, all your social media needs, all your music needs. It's very cool too to have independent bands and musicians and artists and such also be in the limelight as well. I think it's a great idea as long as we can get a following. I think that shouldn't be a problem if if we can find a lot of the bigger independent artists. I don't think that should be a problem at all.
It really is the American dream too, right? I mean, it's like This is America. This is what we are. We push forward with entrepreneurialism, music, creativity. Like we're innovative. This is just basically supporting Americana, and I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And one last question, Art. What do you got? T-bones, ribeyes. What are you cooking? Yeah, there you go. All right. All right. Yeah, cool. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I'll put some photos up after a while.
I do know that Greg says right there, poptalk.io. That is the link, www.poptalk.io. That's where you can go. If you're just joining here, I'll share the screen with everybody here, and I will show you Pop Talk, and we'll bring that up. And okay, so get that, and that's it right there. So let me hide that comment. And there we go. And that's Pop Talk. And I'll show you real quick, just a quick. Now at the top, you've got your homepage, and it's got multimedia, which is your photos, your videos, blogs, music, Pop Tunes Mini, destinations, a whole bunch there, quizzes, questions, Pop Talk, cinema, recipes, you name it, the marketplace, classified properties, businesses and stores, accounts. You can different friend inviters, contest, who viewed me, profile matching. It's got everything. And of course the big one, which is pop files, is really cool because that's like having your own Google files. Okay. They've Art and Greg have sent me a link to their pop files, which, because I asked them, I said, I need some of your artwork. I need the full resolution of the JPEGs, etc. But if you go to Pop Tunes and hit Pop Tunes, okay, which I will, and then it comes to another page, and then this here is Pop Tunes, and you can go on there and listen to whatever it is that you want. So Pop Tunes is also connected. If you could explain that, because people will see that. Like if I were to hit rock right now and bring that up and say I wanted to listen to Coldplay, all right, so I could bring that up, and then it will start playing right there down in the corner. You can play. So obviously it does come up. I'll pause that. It does come up with a YouTube link. Can you tell the viewers at home how is it that because we talked about it, I know the answer to this, but you have an agreement with YouTube. Is this correct?
Yeah, we have a contractual agreement with YouTube to pull this. Again, we have several platforms for music. The very first one we put together was a contract where we purchased the rights to pay and play with all the labels like everybody else did. But being brand new, we needed a way that didn't cost us so much money. The first time we published it and had people using it, we ran into $3,500 worth of pay to play, and I like we're gonna have to pull the plug on that. And how are we gonna give people music? So Peter came up with a ingenious way of working with YouTube, and they of course are super excited to let us play songs. So if you're an artist and you're an independent artist and you have music up on YouTube and we're playing it here, currently you're going to get paid if you're making money monetizing on YouTube. You're going to get credit for all of those plays on our platform at YouTube. And we think in very near future you're going to start double dipping because we can pay also on our platform. There's no reason we can't pay if we're playing. So then you, as an independent artist with a record or a song, we can be paying on Pop Tunes side, and then you'd also get credit on YouTube.
Okay. And this is Brandon Hart with a double T on it, or you're telling me about. And he's just worked out an agreement with you guys over at Pop Talk too. Just an example of a independent artist that you're working with and bringing on over to Pop Talk. And if you go over to YouTube as well, he has a large following, a lot of hits, and I believe it was well over 1 million as well. And that this is the particular guy that I asked you about. I'm like, wow, that's fantastic. So Brendan has agreed with you guys. Yeah, can I get him on our show? And Art told me, he says, I'll just call him up and let him know, and we'll get him on the podcast. So
yeah,
I think this is so exciting because you guys are being exposed to talent out there that the music industry is not necessarily touching. And some of these folks are under labels, but they are not the deep state machine label when it comes to certain things like the Hollywood production companies. You're not obligated under a contract. Case in point, Tom McDonald, same thing, completely independent and is killing it out here right now. And this is something Art, Greg, Peter, and these guys over at Pop Talk really are focusing on. Am I correct about that?
Yeah. Well, that was our first, our very first entrepreneurs, if you were the people that I started working with even before the platform was online. I was poking around in Nashville trying to figure out how it worked. Like had several people that were on during beta, and so it touched really touched my heart. Like, yeah, I thought about if there was a way for me to solve it for my uncle, what would it have been? So I had some ideas, but I just decided to go to Nashville and just started hanging out and found these guys and like, yeah, man, if we could just get heard. These are people that are there's Peter Ray making a comment.
I was gonna say, is this the Peter I have not met yet?
The elusive Peter Ray.
Yes.
Yeah. So but anyways, the idea behind all of the independent artists is we can't make them good, but we felt like Peter and I talked about it. We felt like if currently if you can get 1 million plays on Spotify, they'll cut you a check 90 days or 120 days later for about $3,500. That would hardly pay for your gas driving around the country promoting that. So and most people, most of these independent artists just do not believe don't believe that there's a way to make money digitally. 90 some percent of the songs that are played on something like Spotify or YouTube, and YouTube pays even less. And so they just don't think there's money in it. And we're determined to find a way. I think I have, and I shared with you guys my way, but we believe we found a way to shorten the gap or cut out the middleman between advertisers and artists. And again, if you can't get 2,000 or 3,000 plays, you're probably not going to get advertisers. But if you have the ability to get 1 million plays, and we could find a way to give you $30,000 a year for those plays instead of 3,000, this is where our heart is. Like, now an independent artist can focus on his art rather than bussing tables or changing tires or whatever they have to do 8 or 9 hours a day. And these guys that I talk to are like, man, you just busting tables or whatever they were doing. Like, one guy was worked at a restaurant cleaning plates and bussing tables and for 8 or 10 hours a day, and then had to go get his guitar. And he was fortunate enough to have a place to gig. He was actually playing at a place, but he said he'd get done at 1 and have to be back in at 6 o'clock in the morning to get things going again. And I got to tell you, like I just, he said that, like it really affects his ability to create art. It just doesn't have it. But if we could get even $15,000 or $20,000 in his pocket, we wouldn't have to do that. He could focus on his artwork. And that really touched my heart 2.5 years ago. And I thought there has to be a way. And we created Pop Tunes as a way to figure this out. And I believe after all this time, we do have a really good way to connect advertisers directly to these artists.
So artists are actually have the opportunity to be compensated by going over to Pop Talk. And I hope you're listening right now. And this is exactly why I want to bring artists on, not necessarily our Sunday night show. From time to time we will, but there will be another show exclusively for independent art, which I've been working on, and just letting them know, hey, you can go over to Pop Talk because YouTube's probably not doing what they need to do. You have a better opportunity over here. Now, let me ask you a question. I don't even know the answer to this, but I think I found a way possibly to help you. When you go over there and you go into Pop Tunes, okay, you're obviously paying, you have a contractual obligation with YouTube. Is it commercial free on Pop Talk right now?
Yes, it is.
So basically, you have an option to go to YouTube and pay $11.99 a month to get rid of commercials. Or you can go to Pop Talk right now, sign up an account, and get it absolutely free without paying $11.99. Do you see where I'm going, folks? Get
Good
over to
point.
Pop Talk. Get over there now. So that's amazing. That's great. And people should get over there. And I hate the commercials. I can't stand it. I've been tempted to pay that $11.99 because it's like, it drives me insane, because I do a lot of work on YouTube when I'm ripping videos and work and certain things like that and downloading. But yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. So and then Greg's in the comments real quick. He says, and not just musicians, we want comedians and other artists. I'd like to piggyback off of that. Like I said, I've been promoting, I want musicians of all walks of life. I don't care what it is, rock, country, I don't care if it's classical, whatever it is. I want artists. And now with God opening a door with us working with Pop Talk, we're collaborating together. Comedians, there's a big one, a huge one. If you watch Jim Brewer right now on YouTube, okay, and Dave Chappelle, the biggest comedians in the world, all right, have gone independent because they want nothing to do at all with these contractual obligations with this deep state. That's all, these globalists who run the show when it comes to the music and entertainment industry over there. And that's why I think we're in an extremely hot time. This is lightning in a bottle. This is time to seize the moment and grab it while it's hot, because we are seeing a change in news media, how people are getting their news, how people are getting their entertainment. I won't lie. I'll be honest. I'm always honest with people. I still have Netflix and I still have Prime. If I could get rid of it, I would, for sure. But we do have, we're going to go into that. I don't want to go into this too much more, but we have discussed, and we want to build an entire content wall of free content and some pay, because we have to make a living. And we've been looking for our home. I've been looking at Vimeo. Is that it? Vimeo and other options as well. We just surfed Glenn Beck's Blaze TV website. I love how it's set up, and this is what we want. And so it looks like we're going to go forward, and our entire catalog and body of work will just direct everybody over to Pop Talk to view it. We want, and we feel good too. Not only are we extremely, Joe and I have talked, and we've been talking to Trevor behind the scenes, and we're really excited. We have a lot of questions, and there's a lot little kinks to work out and things like that, but it's all minor stuff. But now we're very confident about doing business together and having people come over there and having especially patriots and people who are, we're talking capitalism here and patriotism and Christian background, the whole nine, and this is what you're doing, and how can we not support that after what everyone's going through right now in this country? Go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say that after the last time, I forget, somebody said something, and the YouTube feed went down. This was like what, 3 weeks ago or a month ago, and then you got banned, and then surprisingly got back. But for about 3 or 4 days, Trevor and I were, and I'm not complaining, but people were reaching out to Trevor and I, are like, "Where's Bruce? You know, he got deplatformed." And everyone's like, you know, what's going to happen next? And then we didn't have YouTube for the following week on Sunday. I think it's going to be a lot of peace of mind for everyone, because when you go from building up, you know, an audience of hundreds and hundreds of people, and then you don't have the ability to communicate with folks, and then you start basically kind of like 4 or 5 steps behind, and then you have to every week kind of reclimb that hill. Being able to let this stuff live in a place where we know we won't get deplatformed, where we know we won't be silenced and censored, I think that's a win-win all the way through. And then that way, if people are like, "Hey, where's Bruce? Where's the Mindfix TV content?" Everyone knows where it's going to be, and it's not going to go dark, and it's not going to be censored, and it's not going to be deplatformed. So it doesn't mean that there won't be content on other places. The idea is to have it still, but we want this to be home, and we want people to know, like they know that this will be where they can come find us.
Right, exactly. And one of the good things is, and I'll be more than happy to tell everybody, I think it's okay to say this. I know when we should say things and not say things, but one of the agreements we came with, I have paid for a Wix website. Okay, I pay an annual fee. I purchased the domain name mindfixtv.com because I'm so busy, and it shouldn't be an excuse. It's just that I just don't have time to play with it. It's so generic right now. And then once the divine door opened and we walked through it, we made agreements, and now it's like we have our own personal tech team, because Art and his team are going to manage Mindfix TV's website, the traffic flow, the merch store, and the whole nine. And we cannot be more happy. We know what we need to do on our end. Ours is to get you content and people over there, and we will deliver. But having our own tech team, so I'm happy to even say, in some way, all right, Art and his team are now part of Mindfix TV as a way, like a subcontractor, an independent contractor, if you will. But we are more than thrilled to have a tech team of people who are so smart in that department, because like Joe says, when you're talking code and stuff, it's like Joe talking when he's getting into the deep finance of things and cryptocurrency. It's like, okay, it's my time to sit back and nod and just in agreement, like I'm smart, because I don't know what you're talking about. So
let the experts be the experts, and then you just stay in your lane, right? That's what we all should do, right? Yeah.
That's for sure. So, well, hey, Art, I want to thank you. We have some more show to get to and a few stories. I appreciate you coming on. I want everybody to know that Art will be back with the guys, because we have talked about having him on our show. So we're going to have a full show with them as soon as everything is up and running, which is very close. We're not talking months or years. We're talking weeks here, tops. And we're going to have them back on, have the guys back on, and we'll do a whole show. We'll walk you through it. And it's not going to be no major hard lesson. It's going to be very simple, very fun, and exciting. And last disclaimer, just so everybody knows, if I could, I'd leave Facebook. There's no question, this platform. But we're not leaving Facebook. We're opening a door for everybody who follows us to an opportunity and an alternative. And we hope that alternative turns into the your number one alternative prior to Facebook. That is pretty much our goal. So I think that's easy. So again, thank you very much, Art. I appreciate it coming on, and we'll be talking soon.
Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you guys.
All right. I like mine. I like mine medium well. Just
I like medium. I'll take medium. So.
Medium rare.
Medium rare. There you go.
All right, I'll take yours off early, Trevor.
All right, thank
you. There you go.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Art. All right, bye-bye. That was great. I did not expect that to happen, Art coming on.
Yeah, that's cool.
that was really cool. So, guys, we do have news to get to. We were talking business, but this is exciting stuff for you as well. So, again, now that the cat's out of the bag, they're doing everything for MindFix TV, as far as our website goes, driving traffic to it, and not just that. There's a team working on this, and a team outside the United States going to be working on this. I mean, we would literally, if I had a team like that, I would be paying thousands of dollars, and not only paying that, I'd be paying a monthly fee, like having a lawyer on retainer for these guys to maintain that and drive traffic there. What a gift this is.
I think that's part of it to mention too, is that not only are they going to just kind of build the place where this all lives, but they're going to actually help get the word out about the show and about the channel and about just all the artists and everything. So it's going to be win-win that we help them, they help us, and it just gets the word out of everything that's happening. So,
and at the end of the day, they're helping to get the truth out as well.
Amen.
And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we all want. That's how we win. So,
and that's exactly, Trevor's absolutely right. And not just that, when you guys are watching us, okay, folks at home, and just like now, look at this, okay? Debbie says, I'm excited for you. Okay, we thank you for that, but let me say something else. Everybody should be excited, all right? This is a platform that is turning into a new option for people with many different areas of, whether it comes to technology, content, and things to do. All of you have an opportunity as well to make money going over to Pop Talk.
They have like an Etsy store. So like my daughter does crocheting. She makes like little, she was just at a baby shower for a coworker, and she just made like this little beanie for the baby when it's born, right? So I told my daughter, I'm like, you should set up like a store with these guys, and you can sell your creations. And so for folks who have crafts, and that's one segment of it, but you can create your own store. You don't have to worry about getting a credit card processing service. You don't have to worry about all these outsourcing things you got to do. They'll help you with, let your store live there, and you can monetize it. And to me, it's like having a Amazon store, but you don't have all these other kind of complicated aspects of it. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't even know what I don't even know about it all yet. I'm not the technological guy here. So
and what it comes down to, okay, so people understand, they do not, I'm sure their goal is to have it one day, okay, but you can get busy now over there and create your own store and start making money. It's not about, they don't have the amount of people that Facebook does on there. That doesn't mean a thing. Give me the entire platform of Pop Talk. I don't need a person on there, but the content that I put out, it's up to you how you advertise and drive traffic there. That's all that it takes. It's at the end of the day, it's not about people posting their cat pictures and what they're eating for dinner on the timeline. Okay. There is an opportunity. It's an entrepreneur who has put a heck of a lot of money into this. Entrepreneurs. I can't wait to, Peter, thank you, by the way, for joining into the show. Can't wait to speak to you and meet you as well. I hope to everybody, maybe we can get together. You could fly into Cleveland if you're willing to, and we can go out and all get together. So Greg says anyone who has a product or service, you can make a business and a store, and you can do that right now. They've already told me, because I have not pushed my merch store because, again, my time is consumed into news reporting, getting information, and getting content out to you. Right. This is why our team is growing. And at the same time, I don't have the time to go on over there to the website and build it. And that's why they're going to do it. And he directly told me, cut out Shopify. You don't need that no more. Their whole platform is to cut out that middleman. You do not need them. Just get into drop shipping. We'll handle everything for you. And that's why I put an ad up, by the way. FYI, I'm looking for some folks who are reliable and credible that I can use instead of me going to Printful or Printify and all those. Yes, it seems easy, but it costs more money. And then at the end of the day, you're buying a shirt for way more money. And when we have the opportunity now to cut out the middleman, and you can get merchandise that is more affordable, all because of what they're doing over at Pop Talk. So this is
I'm going to add one more thing in here that I think is significant, and all well said. So right now, Let's say someone had 10,000 followers or some friends or whatever you want to call
Right.
it on Facebook, right? Only about 10% of those people of your content gets out to your friends, the ones that you've built. You've built your
Correct.
business tribe, you built your social media, whatever that 10,000 people are consisted of. Then Facebook makes you pay to boost your message out to the rest of your friends that you've created, right? So the cool thing about Pop Talk is that all of your messaging goes to all of your friends. So it's not like you have to pay to go to the friends that you've already accrued. So if you say, here's my breaking news, it goes to all of the folks that are following you, not certain percentages. So I think that's significant because if you've done the legwork of building an audience, whether it's everyone here or whether it's someone who has their own separate business, you've done the work. That's your tribe, right? And so I think it's only fair that when you put a message out, that everyone that you've built gets, because meanwhile Facebook is promoting their stuff and selling stuff to your people that you brought in, right? So I think it's only fair that your messages should get out, and I think it's great that these guys at Pop Talk do it that way. So I think it's awesome.
I was going to wait to the second half of the show to do all this, so we're going to get into some news here in just a moment. But lastly, I will bring this up, and I want to tell everybody this. So here's what has happened. All right, and this Joe and Trevor do not know this yet. All right, so again, I stated, and I kind of dabbled with it, but now it is pretty much confirmed. I shouldn't even say pretty much; it is confirmed. So we've been looking at RVs and etc. And so we sat down and had a long talk. And what we're doing, we're still going to have the availability of an RV. All right. But this year we are not going to purchase one. Okay. There's a reason behind this. So anytime we need an RV, need to go to the row, it's there. I can get it. As a matter of fact, I won't even need to buy a truck and pull one. We're just going to get one of the RVs that are the full trailer RVs that you drive. Okay. So when we're ready, we want to go to an event. We want to go to a Trump rally or something like that. It's already waiting in the wings. I can just rent it out and we'll take it for the weekend. Okay. That's the way we're going to do it. The reason we're not going to make that purchase, at least right now, is because there's a person behind the scenes, and that is my cousin. All right. Who's just like my brother, put it that way. He's older than I am. And he has a very successful business out here in the Cleveland area, and it's right by the biggest international airport, which is called Hopkins Airport. Okay, now two things are happening right now. One, this company is like a it's a delivery courier service. He has like 10 or 12 big trucks and box trucks. If we ever need them, he said, if we're ever on set of a film or need it or want to turn a makeshift podcast into one, we have trucks at our disposal for Mindfix TV. That's one. Two, his warehouse right now, he goes, that is mine. He goes, even though I lease it, I have plenty of space if you want to turn it into a set. He says, Monday we're going, I have an extra room, and you can use that right now and turn it into a studio. So you can work from home and you can have a studio, and it's right by Hopkins Airport. And then three, he's getting out and he's going to be selling the business. The only reason of the delay is all because of Joe Biden. When Trump was in office and he had this business, he was making money hand over and fist. A lot of people were. He had 40 drivers during the Trump era. Now, after the pipeline shut down and everything that's going on under Biden, he only has 10 drivers, and they're struggling to maintain certain things. So bottom line is, he's already come to an agreement because he wants out. And he wants to be more involved because he loves doing what all of us are doing right now in broadcast. He wants no part of being in front of the camera. He doesn't want that. He just wants to come with us, be on set. He does handle our books as well. He's very happy about the current people we have, but he has said to me, and this was just today as well, we have talked about it, he will purchase a building, a full warehouse building for Mindfix TV. He will not rent. He will not lease, because we have aspirations to leave this company to our children. Okay. So we will have a full-blown studio to where if people do fly in, they'll be right there when they get out of Hopkins Airport, and they can come into the studio and do a sit-down interview. And we'll have enough room to build sets and the whole nine. And even when we get into independent films, I also, like I said, I want to do a news show, which would be closer to the 2024 election, which is a while away. to have an actual, I did this in school, to build a actual news set and have a couple of anchors who do the news completely different than what we see on Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. That is all there, gentlemen, waiting for us. It is there. So again, to everybody out there, we're going to get into the news in a minute. And I did not know the show was going to go this way. And I'm kind of happy it did with Art jumping in. So we put out a post this week about it was a test post because we're working very hard on how to monetize and do this. And I want to say something right now. This is very important. Okay. I'm not going to get into what was said, but I had a little spat over this weekend with somebody. And it happens from time to time. And Trevor, you're going to be able to chime in on this one because you're going to understand what I'm talking about. I've been accused of monetizing off a movement called Q. All right. I've been accused of being an outsider profiting on the Q movement. Well, first of all, I haven't profited a dime. As a matter of fact, I'm still eating hot dogs and hamburgers. And
let me help you invest your millions, Bruce.
But I want everybody to know something. I have been doing this since the 80s. I've had a camera in my hand. And not just that, I'm going to prove that to you because Joe said, you need to get that footage. I have footage of me at 10 years old with a camera on my shoulder. I started at 10 years old doing this. Then I went to school. So this whole movement of Trump coming down that escalator and Q and being a truther, I don't know what that means exactly. I only look at it as telling the truth. But this truther movement, I don't like being in that category because I've been in broadcast television for years and doing this. This is nothing new to me. I did not jump on a bandwagon to profit off of this so-called, whatever you want to call it, which is 17 or Q. It has nothing to do with it. I am not selling you Q shirts. I am not coming on here calling it the Q. The Q streaming network is out there now. I don't know if you know this or not. I have looked deep into that. And the biggest shill, I won't say his name, okay, but I'll give you a hint. He's rated PG. I think you get what I'm saying. And he's out there. This guy is profiting off of so many vulnerable people right now. It makes me sick. I hope I never meet him. I can't say what I would do. But we are not doing that. We are building a television social media network for news, for independent film, for independent artists, and so much more for you, the viewer. Not only will you get content, all right, you're going to get adult content. And what I mean by, I'm not talking smut. Just calm down, Joe and Trevor.
Wait, we didn't talk about this. Right? Yeah.
I'm not talking about smut. I'm talking like, for example, my film Worthy will get an R rating, but in the right way because I like reality. I don't like sugarcoating stuff. It will be done with responsibility, but done the right way. There will be, I've been talking to people too. Now, I know it sounds like a lot, but I've been doing this for years and I've had this plan for years. And I want children's content. I want some sort of children's content as well. It's so important to me to have that and give you an alternative. And instead of because I know my daughter, I have 2 grandsons, plops them down in front of the TV, turns on Nickelodeon or Disney or whatever it is. They're watching some wholesome cartoon, and then mom or dad walks away because the kids are watching TV. So that's like their babysitter. Next thing you know, they're shoving woke agenda down their throat, and mom and dad doesn't even realize it. And this is why I'm so excited about doing something like this. I've had a 5-year plan. My recent plan has gotten to the point where we're at right now. I have Joe and Trevor here. We have other people. Anna's involved. Now we have Kirsty. These are talent, of course. And now we have people that are working behind the scenes. My cousin. We have Art, Pot Talk, and his entire team willing to be our tech team. I mean, that is just unbelievable to me. And this company is growing. And it's not about Bruce having, he owns MindFix TV. What a success story. Yeah, that's all great and fine at the end of the day. Wonderful. I want to give back. I want to give something to the public to back out into the world with good, real content that's out there over the choices that we have right now. And independent artists is such a big one for me too.
Right. Yeah, and just to your point, I remember when I first started like following you or added you on Facebook. That was around the time COVID started,
Yeah.
and ever since then, I never seen you sell anything. We would be doing this show totally wrong if we were in it for the money like that,
Right.
because we would have way more than just 1,000 views after every week. You know, we would be having way more fake subscription. We would be paying for subscribers basically. We would be doing it totally wrong if we were in it just for the money and trying to take, you know, the viewers' money. So that none of that really lines up.
Right.
So
Exactly. Hey, we got breaking news. Peter, look what he just said. He has our show streaming live on Pop Talk. I don't know how. I have not pushed any
let's
buttons.
check it.
I love it. I don't know. I have no
Let
idea.
the experts do their work, Bruce.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
Yep.
We're streaming over at Pop Talk Live right now. I had
That's
no
awesome.
idea. This is a surprise to us. So, and this is what we're talking about. Incredible, not only ingenuity, and patriotism and capitalism and the things that, that they're trying to take away from us and turning us into a socialist country. Is that it? Is it right
Yep.
there? What's it streaming on?
So I just went to poptalk.io and you just have to push play. Our video is like right there, like on the homepage once you log in. So yeah, right there.
Super cool.
Yeah, very
Thanks,
cool.
Peter.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, all you gotta do is press play and we are there.
Oh my gosh, we're at the top of the feed right now.
Yeah, man. That's like what Rumble does for like their high, you know, ranking shows, and whoever gets the most likes on at the time of their lives and such. So yeah, this is quite cool. Pop Talk is certainly delivering the goods for all of the viewers that can't, whenever they can't find us at all.
Wow.
Say, you know, like Joe and Bruce said, if Bruce gets banned again on Facebook and YouTube, which probably will happen here in the near future again.
We're not doing our job if we're not pushing the envelope a little bit, right?
Right, exactly. Exactly. We're not. Yeah, we gotta talk about the serious things, and you know, you obviously get banned when you talk about serious things,
right?
And very controversial things. So, yeah, it's that's quite exciting now to see that.
It's very exciting. This is taking a direction and a turn tonight. I hope everybody who's watching is realizing what is happening before your eyes.
Happening real time, literally.
In literal real time.
Yeah.
Patriots are coming together and they're doing something to make a difference. Now, let me just say something, because the gentlemen at Pop Talk who have some money, investors, I'm just guessing. Okay. I'm just going out there. I have one investor, which you got to understand, just because we have an investor doesn't mean that just magically goes away. So that investor needs to be reimbursed, but we wouldn't be able to deliver a show to you just because anybody can sign up for StreamYard. But right now, it's like the amount of equipment. I have thousands of dollars in equipment sitting in my studio basement right now. We talked about, okay, we're going to rent an RV, but we're buying an actual studio. So I'm literally I'm not saying I'm going to be Fox. I don't want to be Fox News. I don't want to be CNN. I want to be completely different. I want MindPix TV to be like, hey, you can get news content over there. Oh, they got a good webpage. Maybe I don't want to watch nothing. They're getting it for free still on all the social media platforms. Hey, we can go over there. You can get some really good music over there and see these artists that you really can't find because they're showcasing them. And look at the list of films that I could tell everybody right now, independent films that are shot by people like myself. Let's say I raise $250,000 to shoot a film. That's low budget, folks. Okay. I could get it on Amazon. I could get it on, maybe I could try Netflix or any of those platforms. But guess what happens? I get buried, and you're going to have to search for me. And that takes my marketing to have you find it. But once it gets out there, it gets buried, because what I've done my work and I've done my research, especially in the faith-based industry. I follow faith-based films. Okay. And I follow actors like Kevin Sorbo, Cameron Arnett, the Kendrick brothers. I can go on and on and on. Now, once their film hits, but it gets buried so deep that you got to look for it. And if you don't know about the film, chances of you finding it are nil. Going to Pop Talk and having what we've discussed and having it redirected there, this is why you're going to see films pop up immediately. And I think, like, for example, I don't know if you gentlemen know about PureFlix. PureFlix is another platform. It's the Christian film of Netflix. Okay. So you can go over there and watch that. And I like what they have. They charge a monthly fee, like they shouldn't have to. They'll never survive.
Right.
And I think they have a really good platform. They have good, wholesome movies as well. I've always said, because Worthy's coming out, I will never. I'm going to be more like nefarious, okay? Because I'm not going to put myself in a box, because ladies and gentlemen, I have a story that is coming for you that is going to be shot and done on film. And it's not about me or my ego. I have been working on this for years. It was put on my heart all the way back in 2015. And I cannot wait to film this movie. And it is going to be a smash. And I do not need Hollywood. I need patriots. I need people like the guys at Pop Talk, and to come together. We can do this by ourselves. We don't need government. We don't need Hollywood. We don't need that industry music machine. There's so much talent and content out here. It's just a matter of us uniting. And that's what you're seeing in real time right here. Trevor, Joe, and myself just sat here with Art, and now Peter chimed in and Greg chimed in, and it's happening in real time, and they put us up live, and I didn't even see that coming. So you're seeing patriotism and capitalism, American ingenuity, all happening at one time in real time. And this is what the Biden administration and the deep state globalists are trying to strip away from us, but they cannot win, and we're not going to let them win.
The silent majority is not staying silent anymore, and the pendulum is swinging back. And so we've been sort of like tolerant. And I know that there's some folks on the far right that have been a little, there's the extremes of the extremes, but most folks that live in the middle, which is the vast majority of Americans, whether it's a little left or a little right, most of us have been kind of like, just leave us alone, let us raise our family. We just want to eat healthy food and not be, bothered, right? And so that's not been happening. And so we've been being kind of squeezed and squeezed and squeezed until finally, I think now, folks that otherwise have been pretty quiet are saying, you know what, this is ridiculous. And you're seeing it with school board meetings where the parents are going in and saying, this is not going to be taught at my kid's school. I'm going to hold you personally and legally responsible for this pornography that you're shoving in front of my kids. We're seeing it with the pushback on Target and on Bud Light and these companies that are going very extreme on what they're promoting. And so I think this is the perfect timing. The stars have come into alignment for platforms like what we're doing here, because we don't want to have I don't want to have agendas. I want to be able to have a platform. And if there's folks that disagree, what I know about the three of us and anyone else in the channel is that if someone disagrees with us, we'd happily have a conversation with them.
Yes.
We're not going to censor people and tell them that just because you disagree with us that you don't get to come here. Get out of my sandbox. No, we'll have the conversation. And if we're wrong and we don't understand something, we'll seek to understand it and we'll admit that we're wrong. But that's not allowed on the current platform. So I think people are ready to have honest, authentic, integrity-based conversations, integrity-based family integrity, all that sort of thing with art, music, news, and you're seeing it with pharmaceuticals too. People don't trust big pharma. They don't trust. There's the food industry has had all kinds of pushback. So I think real and authentic is going to be, as we turn the corner here, I think people are going to want to go back to real and authentic and, all that sort of thing. So.
Yeah. And Cindy says, yes, everybody has a limit. A lot of people are reaching theirs. Time to push back some. And then Dave here, the comments are coming in. Keep your comments coming in, folks. And it's past time. It is past time. And let me say something too. It is not about us. People get misled. Some people, when someone says we need to fight back, we need to push back. No, I'm not telling you to take up arms and get out there and start a revolutionary war. Not at all. Right. You need to fight back, with your wallet, what you buy, what you don't buy. And matter of fact, I'll play a clip in a second from Jesse Waters about boycotting and the whole pride thing, because we can talk about that. They have an agenda. But there's so many ways you can fight back. and you just got to find a way to do it. Just because Pop Talk has a big, gigantic platform and their own social media page, and now MindFix TV here is growing and we're getting bigger, okay, it doesn't mean you have to do something like that. You don't have to do anything that big. Again, back to General Flynn, start in your community. It starts right there. Start small. It starts in the home. I'm never going to tell anybody how to parent because I grew up, I've told my story. I was never the father of the year. I'm trying to be today. I'm pretty proud of myself today, but I was never the father of the year. And that has always been a regret of mine because I wasn't there for my kids during my dark days. Okay. But now I am here today. And this is why I'm so passionate about doing this. And you could start in the home, in your community, and it doesn't have to be on a big scale. Folks on a big scale like us right now, Pot Talk, etc., we need your support. That's the bottom line. And the more we unite, and they say us united is the way we need to be. We cannot be divided. You know, Reagan has preached this. Ronald Reagan has preached it over and over again. We cannot allow liberalism or socialism because as soon as it arrives on our front door, and if we're divided, we are screwed, and it's going to be game over. And we're teeter-tottering on that precipice right now. So that's where we at. So, and then again, Juanita says, leave the children alone. Totally agree. Completely agree. This is why I want some children's content. I'm not going to be no savior, but at least I can do a little bit on my part, but our part. Okay. But leave the children alone. Now, I do believe that the agenda that they're pushing down our throat right now, let's segue into this. Okay. This is perfect. I do believe that the agenda that they're pushing down our throat right now, we all know it's intentional. And number two, it's going to go away. You know what's going to go away? The next presidential election. If they, okay, here's what happens. And allow me to explain. If we lose, okay, and they cheat again and they get in there, they're going to achieve their objective of having a one world government and all the horrors that we talk about day in and day out. Okay. They will no longer need people like Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, and any other letter agent organization. They don't need them anymore. They need them now to achieve their agenda. And that agenda is division. Number one is division. And that's what they're doing right now. Okay. But once they have achieved their objective, they will not need these people. They'll be forgotten about and kicked to the curb. So LGBTQ, BLM, your time's coming because they're not going to need you anymore. You think you're doing something for social justice? You're not. You're only helping the deep state is what you're doing. So let's play a clip here. I want to show you something. But if Trump gets in, here's the big thing. This is the number one thing. This is why Trump can't get in, okay? Because if Trump gets in, which I know he will, he now is in charge of NATO, all right? Because NATO, the number one country for NATO, is the United States. Without the United States, there is no NATO. The money becomes depleted, and they all break apart. The first order of business that Trump comes in, I have said it. I have listened to Ron DeSantis. He's telling me about this. He's bragging about what he did for Florida. All fine and good. I have not heard one thing about foreign policy and foreign relations in the current situation of the U.S. dollar being ripped away in front of our eyes. And most people out here are oblivious to the fact that that is happening right now. But until it hits their doorstep, they're not going to do a thing or wake up. But that day might come. We don't want that. So Trump needs to come in. He'll be in charge of NATO, and he'll basically say, we're done. We're out. We're not getting involved in this war. We're sitting down with Russia, with Zelensky, Ukraine, and with China, with Saudi Arabia, and we're ending this now. Not only
he already did a lot of that. Like the groundwork was already laid for so much of that stuff in his presidency, right?
And then this is my prophecy. And then what he's going to do is say, now we need to get the US dollar back to where it needs to be because you have cut out the US dollar. Now we need to talk about trade and come to an agreement. And he must say, I'm going to open the pipelines and start drilling. Screw all this green energy stuff and everything that's going on. This is the number one thing that has to happen before anything else in America, because our problems in America right now won't mean nothing if we cannot repair what's going on in the rest of the world with our relations with other countries. Because if you know how the world works, we are dependent on so many other countries for many things, as natural resources, food, money, you name it, whatever it is. Okay. And if we're cut out of the loop, we're just going to fall down into the abyss. So
I think that's gonna happen, and I think that what we're gonna have to figure out is how we become our own, instead of having to rely on the whole just-in-time economy and the globalism that we've had. I'm not saying that we won't have international trade. What I am saying is that because of what's about to happen to the dollar and where we're headed with this, is that we're going to have to become more dependent on our own resources, whether it be for energy, whether it be for our own manufacturing, our own food supply chains, all that. We have to figure out how to do that ourselves. And that's the sort of thing where Trump can't do this alone. So for everyone that's sitting around thinking Trump's going to be my savior, I think that that's the wrong way to look at it. I think we all
agree.
need to do our little steps forward. I personally would hope that if there's not Trump that does it, that there's the next man up, that there's or woman, that there's someone that comes in that has the methodology and the effectiveness that Trump's had. Right now, he's the avatar for it, but I think that we, the people, collectively we need to all do our part. So grow gardens, figure out how to be more handy, figure out how to do things within our own resources and our own skill sets to where we become valuable to our fellow economy, and not just sit around and waiting for the Messiah type politicians to do it. I'm with you that I think it's all by design, though, and I don't think that any of this stuff it's got to happen. We have to get off the central bank fiat currency. I've been saying that the whole time I've been on the show. Trevor and I have had shows about it. Like, it's needs to happen, and there are ways we can have an economy where it's not even on. There can be more barter. Not that there isn't money, but there can be like barter baked into the cake. There can be and get rid of the taxes that squeeze so much purchasing power out of it. We can create that sort of economy, and that sort of and then the abundance that we all have, the life that we all lead. You can have one person work in the family and then not have it stretch everyone working 80 hours a week, trying to raise a family. You can have quality of life, and all this stuff is being disrupted. The pharmaceutical industry, nobody trusts the pharmaceutical industry like we used to. Even the medical industry is being questioned in ways that we've never seen in at least my lifetime. Politicians are being questioned. News sources are being questioned. So it's all being disrupted. And I think that's where a show like this, where we can have these conversations openly and share with one another, that's how we all collectively work together to kind of chip in our way to make it all better. Because we can.
Yeah. Get your money out of get your money out of the fiat system. That's what number one rule, number one thing to do is get your money out of the rat race, because as long as your money is in the fiat system, whether that be in dollars, whether that be in 401k, whether that be in whatever it is in their system, we're going to lose. You're going to lose. You can't fight an animal on their terms.
Right.
And you're going to lose every time. So that is why we're a fan of, I'm a fan of Bitcoin. I'm a fan of precious metals, because you get your money out of the fiat system. So for me, that's big. That's kind of my side of the story of as far as way to fight back and such like that. But all of you guys have made very good points as well.
I try to stay careful what I talk about. Believe it or not, even though all three of us were in the public eye, I like sharing personal stories from time to time, because I like showing the human side, because I am human. I'll go crazy if I just post news all day long. And everybody knows at this point, I love humor. I love a good sense of humor, and I love British humor because it's completely different and dry. So, but anyways, I did wear this week, and this was the hat somebody sent me. Okay. Which it says The Dude, but in that little package sent to me, believe it or not, was silver coins. The person who sent me that hat sent me silver. Yep, right there, Joe. They sent me silver, and I was shocked because it was a little coin, black coin zipper pouch, and I thought it was going to be a pin. And when I took it out of the box, I'm like, this is really heavy. And then I open it up. I'm like, you have to be kidding me right now.
I should leave my address. So if anyone's mailing out silver, I should put my address here, right?
Well, no, I mean, it's not like we got rich or anything, but it
No,
was
no,
nice.
I'm just
And I'll
playing,
never
yeah.
cash it in because if emergency comes, because I'd like to get to a point, and that point won't come until Trump's back in office, that we can start getting, we pulled out of the stock market in many areas and went into small money markets, but we pulled everything out. And my mother, I convinced her to take it out. Before my dad passed away, he invested in a lot, and I looked at what he invested in. I'm like, this ain't all great. And they have a portfolio, and people were helping them. And but I'm like, listen, I talked to my friend. We're having a good relationship. His name's Joe Gleason, and he told me, get out of there now. And they pulled out, and it was a matter of just like 2 weeks that things started crashing. And now, every time when it's about money over here, a few people in my life or my mother and stuff, and they say, will you please ask your friend Joe? Please ask your friend Joe this. So
I'm still here to help talk through, because everyone's situation's different. And
right.
and sometimes just saying, hey, pull every dollar out, there are ramifications, since nobody has time frames, nobody has a crystal ball. I mean, this thing could drag out. I don't know that it will. It's not my personal belief, but it could drag out 5-10 more years. And so if we say, hey, just cash out of your 401ks and IRAs, and then you create tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars of tax like day one, like, I think that may need to be talked through in everyone's situation. But conceptually, I 100% agree with Trevor that the fiats, you need to balance that and diversify. And
Right.
But everyone's situation is different. I mean, if you're relying on monthly income from some of those things, just putting it in silver or Bitcoin, maybe due to the kind of volatility of those two areas can have, that might be tricky too. So we want to make sure that we're not letting the baby out with the bathwater, but that you do diversify and start getting yourself to where if something does happen, that you're not completely left without a chair when the music stops playing. And
I do want to interject that Joe will be. We did advertise it, but on Tuesday nights, I believe at 7:00 was it, or 8:00? I forgot. Joe's show, Talking Dollars and Making Sense spelled with a C. Will be debuting. Both of him and I have been so busy, we haven't had a chance to launch the show. We will try within the next week or two. That will start be coming out on a regular basis. So
yeah, and I'd actually ask for those who are listening right now, if there's something that you'd like to, if you'd like, because I know we miss stuff in the Sunday night show, right? Because it's just so much content that we try to get through.
It's a lot, yeah.
Specifically in the financial industry, if there are things that you want to learn more about and understand, please let me know, because I want to do a show that helps you guys, not just spew a bunch of boring financial talk. I want to actually be beneficial and helpful. And I want to have Trevor and I are going to still be working on that too. He's going to be he's got other shows he's going to be doing, but I want to have him on the financial stuff too, because we started something with Bitcoin and all that. I want to make sure we keep that information going too. And so, so we'll both be working together on that. So anyway,
so Joe will be having that come out on Tuesday nights. Again, you see at the bottom of your screen on the ticker, every Thursday night is Straight Talk with Kirsty Jane. It's no secret. My own show is coming out too. It will be nothing about news at all. That is saved for on Sunday. I want Sunday night to be our cornerstone staple show every Sunday night. This is going to continue to grow. We have good plans, and we want to keep bringing on guests like Nick Nanton, and we have a lot of things in the works right now. So you are on the ground floor, so much happening, and it's very exciting to be a part of. So, and at the same time, I've spoken to Trevor. We just want to keep putting content out there and having people have their own show, and done with responsibility, done with research, done with integrity, and just having a show to where people get something out of it. Not just we want you to click to tune in because we have a podcast. There are so many podcasts out there. They bore me to death. It's like I don't even need to pop a sleeping pill because I can watch this podcast and go to sleep. So again, just keeping viewers in tune. I've spoken with Joe about getting on financial experts along with Joe and bringing on guests. So he's going to be working on that and bringing on people in that financial world field to come on and be a guest also. So whatever we can do to help, our whole platform is meant to help give back. Your idea is to help. Just follow, share, support us for us to continue to grow. So you've been watching the journey. I want to play a clip, but before I do that, because we are at the 9 o'clock mark. We're going over a little tonight, folks. We did not expect the show to go this way. All right. One thing I want to put out there, okay? I did talk about, I've been in broadcasting for a very long time. I am not new to this. Has nothing to do with coming on and capitalizing off at Q. Matter of fact, there's nothing Q on our platform. There's no Q show. There's nothing like that. From time to time, me and Trevor will talk about it relating to a Donald Trump post, but we're not saying, look what Donald Trump did. It matches this Q post. And we have an interruption for you. Go to our merch store and buy the newest Q shirt. No, that is not ever going to happen. Ever. Okay? Ever. We will never capitalize a dime off of that movement at all. So anybody saying that, you just don't know, you haven't done your due diligence, and you don't know anything at all about who we are over here. We are building something so much bigger than just some Sunday night podcast. Okay? And welcome to the journey. One thing I want to do, yes, I have to throw in a plug right now. People have asked, they're like, there are people who do want to donate, and we do need the help. Now, we were deplatformed. I've been deplatformed by Teespring. I've been deplatformed by GoFundMe. I've been deplatformed by Buy Me a Coffee. Two of those organizations, I have the emails, called me a right-wing extremist terrorist group part of, because I sold T-shirts and I was a conservative. And on GoFundMe, we did a GoFundMe once, and I forgot what that was, but they saw my Facebook page, obviously, and they wrote me, we cannot support a terrorist organization. I kid you not. I kid you not. I have saved those, and one day I'm going to have a new set behind me, and I'm going to blow those up into posters and frame them for the world to see. It's just unbelievable. So the only site now, we can trust Pop Talk, no question about that. We have had so many meetings, we've done our research, and we are so comfortable with what they have to offer. Non-censorship, trust what they have going on. And the only other site that I trust right now, okay, now I do have Cash App, etc., is Give, Send, Go. Those folks over at Give, Send, Go have an awesome platform. They are a Christian platform, okay, but I put it down for business, and I'm going to share it with you right now, okay? So let me share our Give, Send, Go. I had messages this weekend, and people said, do you have a Give, Send, Go? And I've advertised it, but not everybody sees it all the time, so we have to constantly show it again. This is our Give, Send, Go. And all you have to do is at the very top, Give, Send, Go /MindFix TV. Everything is MindFix TV when it comes to social media. It's a great name because nobody else has it. We own it. We have the trademarks in the works right now. I own the LLC for it's MindFix Entertainment. MindFix TV is the brand that falls under it. When you go on there, you can see our mission statement, my ugly mug, including my coffee mug. I meant my ugly mug face and my coffee mug. And then you can give, and whatever you want to give, $5, whatever works. And you can see people here have gone on here, and this is fresh, this is new, this helps us a great deal. Where does your money go? Okay, let me get my face off that screen again. It's Give, Send, Go at /MindFix TV. After the show, I'll put that up. Okay, so that helps us out a great deal. What do we do with the funds? It goes right back into this here as well. I'm working, for example, I'll give you an example right now. I'm working with Trevor. We've been working about giving him a more solid internet feed. I want every person who is on as a host to come on here, have a quality feed. I want professionalism. It costs money with that equipment. It costs money for so many things. I probably have a bill of, I don't know, easily $500-600 a month in just programs, sites like StreamYard you're on now. I pay for Rumble. I've got the professional plan. This is where this money goes. Okay. Now we can get all the free stuff. They say, wait a minute, you can get Rumble for free. Yes, you can. But at the same time, you cannot get the strong bandwidth to broadcast for you to sit at home and watch us on your TV right now. Otherwise, it's going to freeze and break up, and it's going to be so unprofessional. So this is the things where this money goes towards. We appreciate it. We've had people donate before, and that is an option for you. Yes, a subscription is coming, and it will not take away from the news content you get. I know the world we're living in right now, and I refuse to take away and say we're going full-blown pay, and the only way you're going to get information, you pay us. That will never, ever happen. All you're doing is supporting us. There are people out there who have the means and the luxury to support something they believe in, and this is why this is out there. So we don't even have the like the $5 subscription service right now. You will not be shut out. We're not leaving Facebook, but we're going to be heavily inundated with Pop Talk, and you're going to be redirected there a lot. And it's not going to even affect you whatsoever at all. So we're not going. The only way I'm leaving Facebook is when they shut me down. So with that said, again, that's Give, Send, Go at MindFix TV, and you'll see the campaign up there. And we appreciate every dime that is given our way because we do have bills to pay. And believe it or not, without having a sob story, okay, I have dipped into so much of my own money, and then the investor had a limit as well. And we're at that point now. It's either we just stop right here and just do this and do no more, or we continue moving forward and bring you everything that we discussed. And I am moving forward because I see such great big things in the future. And I cannot express enough that the team that has been put in place with Trevor, with Joe, with Anna, with Kirsty, with the guys over at Pop Talk and other people you don't know. I have worked on sets. I have worked on news sets, going out and do news stories many, many years since the 90s and the 2000s, and going out there. I worked with some real idiots and some complete a-holes, and I'll be honest with you, and I had to put up with it. The team that has been put in place at MindFix TV is ordained in divine intervention, because I am not kidding you when I say this. We get along, and the chemistry is strong over here. Something's happening, folks. You're a part of a journey, and you're going to have an option even for your children in the future. And this is my long-term goal, is to say no to mainstream media, no to Hollywood, no to this music industry who's putting crap down your throat. And I know Joe agrees. I know Trevor strongly agrees with independent musicians and everything else. So we're having an incredible time right now. It is a ton of work. This is why when people say, how do you get to sleep, Bruce? I do nap during the day, believe it or not. And sometimes I oversleep, and I had to run down here tonight. So, but
yeah, Bruce was the one late to the meeting today.
I was late today.
Trevor normally gets all the guff, but today was you.
Trevor was here. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, but that was fun. So anyways, Give, Send, Go at /MindFix TV. Thank you very, very much, guys. I really do appreciate that. Check this out, guys. I know we're going a little over. We have to talk about this. Now, first of all, I do not know if this, okay, I may have the information wrong. So if somebody in the comments can correct us, all right? I'm about to play the clip of I don't know if it's a trans man, woman, or if this is a real woman. I'm so confused today. Even I can decipher and tell you more about what's going on in Ukraine than I can tell you who's a man or a woman these days.
Right.
I made a joke the other day about me going on a dating website, being single now and moving on with my life. I'm like, one of my first prerequisites are for them is, do you have all female body parts? I need to know that first. So
were you born, and do you continue to have all female
yeah,
body
and
parts?
Can
right?
you swab your mouth with this Q-tip, please? I need to do it.
Right.
Okay, so here's the clip. This girl was attacked. I don't know what she is. If you in the comments if you have facts, no guesses, please. I you know me, I'm about facts and truth. You'll see her get at a pride event, but she's wearing a MAGA hat. Check this out.
I'm welcome here. I am welcome here.
No, you're not. You're not welcome here.
Yes, I am.
It's not welcome here.
I am welcome here.
We don't give a fuck about Trumpers.
Local Blair White is welcome here.
No, you're not welcome
Let's
here.
fucking go.
You're not welcome here.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah. Hey, this is Nazi right here. We don't take Nazis here.
Oh!
No Nazi sympathizers. No Nazi sympathizers. Go home,
I'm not a
Nazi.
Nazi.
Go home, Nazi. We don't want you
They
here,
tried to
Nazi.
take
Go
my
home,
ass. Let's
Nazi.
go.
We don't want you here, Nazi. Go home, Nazi. We don't want you here, Nazi. Go
Oh,
home,
he's
Nazi.
so
Go
mad.
home, Nazi.
He's
Go
so
home,
mad.
Nazi. Go home,
Ah,
Nazi.
he's so angry.
We got black Phoenix.
Oh! Go home! Boo! Let's rock and roll! That's not nice. You need to calm down. You need to calm down, sir. Let's fucking go. Ah! Oh, you will. You should be more inclusive and accepting.
You should be more inclusive. Don't fucking.
Hey, that's an assault. That's an assault. It's on camera. It's on.
There it is, right there. Now,
Wow.
she did say something at the beginning that I didn't catch the first time. She says, I'm the Blair White of wherever she's at, whatever town. For those who don't know, Blair White is a, I guess, kind of like a conservative trans woman. She doesn't go around. She was a man. Now she's a woman. You know, I get so confused. But she doesn't go around shoving it down people's throats. As a matter of fact, she's been an advocate, or again, I'm confused. Has been an advocate for not doing gender transition surgery. So she talks about how much she's against it and everything else. So she is a voice in that community. It is touch and go with me when we talk about all that. So, but yeah, I mean, even if she was there or he, I don't know, was trolling. Somebody said in the comments, trolling. I don't care. I can go to a Nazi rally right now if they were having one and go there and start trolling them. That is my right. I can do that, but it's not my right to assault somebody. So, I mean, we're looking at division when it comes to this LGBTQ, ABCDEFG, whatever their letters are, and the pride flag and division. But look at that video there. If you're MAGA and you're gay or trans or whatever it is, you're not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So that is completely hypocritical and goes against everything they're supposed to stand for, per se. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. Just like what we see with this whole left movement, if you don't agree with them, you are considered the enemy. So it doesn't matter if you disagree with one little thing with them, but you as a whole consider yourself democratic or left. But if there are a couple things that you don't agree with or don't do as they say, then you are the enemy. So that's just basically what we just saw then. So, I mean, basically, I guess just the video in and of itself could have been just as far as like trolling or, just her trying to get a rise out of somebody. But
right.
At the end of the day, that is what the left does, though. They eat their own. And
yes,
we've been saying it for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because that's why I want people to call on the show. I want somebody from the other side to call into this show. You're going to be able to call in every show from here on out. And there's going to be different options how to do that. And real simple. Art got in right away as well. I don't know if there's a timid factor out there of people wanting to call in. I get that, but you're going to be able to call in. And I want somebody from the other side to call in. I want you to call in and call me every name under the sun. I don't care. I just want to have a discussion because I'm dying for people to come on and sit down and have a talk like human beings. That's what we're lacking in this country because you saw them clearly assault, even though he just hit her hat or his hat. I don't know. It's still assault. It's still assault. Why can't we sit down and come together and talk?
That's it right there. Like, to me, that's the like. We don't have to agree, and
nope.
And I think people on the right that don't understand it or get it, like that's our work, right? We need to seek to understand. I do believe there is gender displacement or whatever I forget what they call it. But my issue isn't with what adults choose to do to themselves. That's your choice. You're over 18, you go do you. But what I have a problem with is pushing this on kids and making them before they even can decide what they don't even know what they want to eat for breakfast. What cereal do you want? But you got to pick out what gender you are for the rest of your life.
Right.
That's where it gets messed up for me. And then I think there's definitely an agenda where they're pushing it, and that to me it takes away from the folks who really do have this. gender confusion. To me, it's an insult to them that they're kind of coercing this whole big movement, and they're basically just saying that you don't matter. And if I were a woman and the women's sports stuff, like that's a terrible. I mean, like you've got women who've worked their keisters off to go be in sports and get themselves to where they've worked hard to be, and then some dude comes in and wants to be a woman, and they're like, I showed up because I couldn't make it as a man, and I can beat you, so now I'm getting gold medals. Like, to me, that's just I don't see why the women's rights folks aren't saying like this is a problem more than they have been, and I don't understand why people aren't standing up for kids more. So that's my niche of the greater thing that I have a problem with, and then with like the Target stuff and the Bud Light stuff, like I'm left-handed and I'm 6'4", so I don't fit in a lot of places, and the world's backwards to me. But I'm not asking people to like, hey, and we need to make all the ceilings higher, and we got to make everything appropriate for left-handed people. I'm the minority, and sometimes I'm just going to have to kind of make my way in the world. And it's I'm not going to be a victim because of just, you know what I mean? And I don't think that everyone needs to suffer because I'm a small percentage of the population as a lefty, so
Right.
so it's like
I didn't know you were left-handed, so am I. So
awesome.
how we know what it feels like to try to find a baseball glove,
Right?
It's not fun.
Yeah.
So
well, Trevor, because of that, I learned how I throw righty, even though it was like,
okay.
and then like the scissors, I learned how to cut in school because like, and it's like you struggle with the right hand. I'm just gonna learn how to do it right-handed, so I just done it backwards, and
I got a real question for you. How do you use your computer mouse?
I'm a righty on that too.
Okay, yeah, me too. That's the only thing I do righty.
So do you know, like when you got to sign your signature, like with the mouse, like,
yeah.
I'm like, this is so, it's like, not only are you doing it with the mouse, but you're also doing it with the wrong hand. Yeah.
It's all in here. It's all
right. Yeah. So, but it's a complicated issue, and it's one that people need to seek to understand more. And I think that when those people were walking up, now keep in mind, that's the group that says the right-wing supporters of Trump are all hateful, bigots, chauvinistic, all those words. They label everyone. If you wear a MAGA hat, that instantly labels you as though all those terrible things.
Extremists.
But they can walk over and be like, get that out of here. You're not welcome here, and hit that woman.
Assault.
But they say that they're about love and acceptance. It's extreme hypocrisy, and
exactly.
That's what's hard to deal with. It's like you're labeling an entire group of people because of who they voted for or what hat they wear. You have no idea what they stand for, what they believe in, what they personally have been through. But you're gonna, because of a hat, you've made up your mind, but you vilify people because they're closed-minded, not inclusive, and full of hate. Well, isn't that what you're doing? I'm like, this, it's just ridiculous,
So Italy stepped up to the plate, and they decided, since June is Pride Month, they decided to have Family Pride Month. Check it out. Here's Italy. And of course, I have no idea what they're saying in the song, but if you're Italian, you probably do. But obviously, it's showing symbolism of all family, the nuclear family, etc., and family values. And this is not just the United States. This is going global
for sure.
And this is
that's why it's an agenda.
It's an agenda from George Soros. It's coming from there, the World Economic, the World Organization and Economic Foundation, all that. So it's coming as it's a global thing, and people are tired of it. They are tired of it. So,
and so I think we should do what Italy did. Just like is it Ida? Is that how you say it? Ida, we need to do this in America. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like it's not against you. You go be you, but we're gonna do what we believe in, and we believe in the nuclear family. So it's not against you. It's just we're showing what we support, just like they are, and that kind of thing is you can go do it peaceably. You don't have to get into big fights or have a big, make it weird. It can just be this is what we do. We're proud of who we are. There's nothing wrong with it.
That shows me a little bit a slice of hope for Italy, seeing that there.
Yes, it does.
And just like a lot of people don't realize that Putin over in Russia, the last like 10 years, he's been paying families to have kids. Like no other country really that I know of does that right now. In our era. So that's quite good to hear. And as we all know, most of us most of us like Putin and believe that he is fighting the New World Order as well, along with Trump and stuff like that. So yeah, that's quite cool to see that he's trying to grow his population. And meanwhile, every other country is trying to kill their population, basically.
Yep. Now let's go over here real quick. I know we're going over, we're going to wrap it up. But I need to play this clip. It was on my timeline, but this is interesting because we're talking about Bud Light, Target, and all these corporations that are going woke. All right. But apparently just boycotting them doesn't seem to be the real answer. Let's listen to Jesse. I don't know how long this is, but I may cut it short.
10 days, your company lost $10 billion. So why is corporate America Bud Lighting themselves? Because this is about more than just money. The people who are forcing these companies to Bud Light themselves already have enough money. They have so much money, they're looking for things to do. Who are these companies? It's companies like Vanguard, BlackRock, the companies that own major stakes in Target or Disney. So with all that shareholder clout, they can force these companies to do whatever they want. They confess this is what they're doing.
Behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force.
I paused it. I'm going to play it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the heads of BlackRock. Okay.
Behaviors, and at BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors. What we are doing internally is, if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay. You have to force behaviors. And if you don't force behaviors, whether it's gender or race, or just any way you want to say the composition of your team, you're going to be impacted.
So we went from the customer's always right to screw you. This is all because rich white liberals on Wall Street feel guilty about being billionaires. So they force companies to go woke to pay off the social justice gods. And it's also brilliant class warfare. The peasants aren't going to storm the castle, if they think the rich guy that owns the castle's nice and lets everybody sparkle. Let's bring in Anson Frericks.
Okay, so I'm going to end it there.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy from BlackRock admitted and didn't even hide up. He said the part out loud you're not supposed to say. He says,
they don't even care anymore.
They don't
even
care.
care.
We're going to force it down your throat. And did you hear what he said? He basically said, correct me if I am wrong. He said, if Target and these companies don't comply with what BlackRock says, that's when they're going to lose their money. They're not losing money on us boycotting them. They're going to lose their money from their shareholders, which are BlackRock and Vanguard and JP Morgans of the world, who have majority shares in every corporation on this planet.
So basically, who funds that?
Correct.
Our 401ks fund that. So that's why I mentioned earlier that I don't want my money in 401k. Now I do have a little bit in there, but that is changing soon. That's why Bitcoin is so important. That's why precious metals are so important, because you get it out of their system. That's why I was saying, that's why that video, actually, I didn't know you were going to play that video, but that perfectly summed up what I said earlier. You're trying to fight an animal on its own basis, enemy on its own basis. You're going to lose. Yeah, we can't outlast that. So that's why we have these alternatives. Q even says that we're going to have a military and a civilian uprising together, military and the public. How does that happen? Bitcoin is how that happens. So it's very interesting. You can't. That's why I want to take away from that video. You can't fight an enemy on their terms, or you're gonna lose.
Right. Yeah. Like Eddie here says, support mom and pop shops by conservative or Amish. They have great veggies and bread and cheese. And that's one thing they're trying to do. That was the whole idea of the COVID lockdown, was to cripple small businesses.
Yep.
There were a lot of small businesses that could not recover. I remember watching Strictly. I like watching. I only like it for a reason, but have you ever watched Bar Rescue with John Tapper?
Yep.
And I only like it because I like to see John Tapper yell at people. Like, I get off on that. So, but he's smart. Take that away. He's very smart. And believe it or not, if you do your research, he started with his first restaurant here where I live in the Cleveland area in a local suburb. And he branched out, and now he lives in Nevada. But my point was, he went on television a number of times, and he was so concerned about the restaurant industry surviving the COVID. And he literally said, if we have another lockdown like this, it will be game over for so many restaurants out there.
100%.
You can forget your mom and pop, your home cooked meal ones. They're going to go under. A lot did as well.
Yeah.
So their agenda is to divide. You just saw that video. You heard from the CEO, I believe he was, at BlackRock. There is a video, which I don't have loaded tonight, of the BlackRock executives in Ukraine who met with Zelensky just about a week to 2 weeks ago, tops. I think it was a week ago. They went there and met with Zelensky to talk about how BlackRock can help rebuild Ukraine. Bullcrap. They're there to own Ukraine, is what they're doing.
They're money laundering too.
Sure they are.
All for the World Economic Forum and all the central banks, and it's all disguised with protecting Ukraine and all that. It's so nefarious. The layers of that onion are so deep, and it's all for globalism and to push this communistic. They're pushing all this like one world government communism, and people are like, oh, that could never happen. It is happening. Like, go look to the stuff that we were saying 10, 15, 20 years ago, and this happened. Checks this box. Just this. But it's, and if people don't think that they're going to just wake up one day, oh, it's just going to magically go away because they're just waiting for, the white hats or Trump or something. Like, we all need to be aware. And this is an info war. We all need to be in. And I'm not disagreeing earlier with what you said, Trevor, about getting money out of the fiat system. But just, don't bite off your nose to cut off your face. If someone's like, I need money next week to pay my bills. Yeah.
You gotta do it smartly. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Go in there blind either. And to your point, Bruce, that you said about the the loan that small businesses took from the government to stay alive, and the ones that did stay alive, like, I'm a small business owner. We did that. We wouldn't be around if we didn't take that loan.
You're forced to. I get it.
At the same time, though, we're going to be paying on that for years and years. We're never going to pay that off, no matter how good our business does. We're never going to pay that off.
That's how compound interest works.
Yeah, exactly. And so all small businesses, and that's why they won't survive. Small businesses won't survive another COVID shutdown. Not because we wouldn't be able to take another loan. They might not even give another loan. So it's very interesting in that fact, because that's totally true. Nothing's going to be around if there's another shutdown again.
So I would like to get, because we're going to have to wrap it up here. Thank you for everybody who stood in. This is the longest show we ever did. Did not expect Art to come on. It worked out well. I'm glad Art came on. We're going to have those guys on in the future. Peter, I want to thank you for listening as well, tuning in tonight. Looking forward to talking and meeting with you. I hope you're not too camera shy, and maybe you can come on with Art as well, and we can do an entire podcast and talk about this, because again, this is not just about, oh, great, Bruce has a great company and Art and those guys have a nice social media platform. No, you have to understand the bottom line. We're here to help people and patriots. We just played a clip from Jesse Waters. You heard what BlackRock is doing. You heard what they're doing in the corporations and Target. They can care less that you will not go there. They want you to boycott. They know you're going to boycott. All right. But they have so much money that, I mean, they could wipe their, what with it. They can care less. Their mission, their mission is evil. It is to divide, to conquer, to rule the world with a one world government. You do it as we say, and you'll be happy with what you get. That is the bottom line of what is happening in this world. Support small businesses still. Keep going there. Support us. I know that sounds like a cheap plug. We're doing something. We are doing something. Support the guys at Pop Talk as well. So I want to touch on one thing, then we're gonna get out of here, and I want to end with again with Pop Talk. But Bruce, at the bottom, I really want to hear what you have to say about The Chosen. Okay, for those who don't know, now keep in mind, all right, look what the guy from BlackRock just said. This is important. They're out to divide. All right. The devil is out here to divide right now. There was a video, which is on my timeline, about the girl in Target where the guy went in there and started saying to the girl, and she had tattoos, long hair, kind of pretty, yeah, and said to her, do you support this? Do you support this? And then they kept saying, sir, security came, you got to leave. And he wasn't doing nothing, just pointing out all the pride agenda and the satanic stuff. And there were, besides the rainbows, there was satanic stuff. There were literally pentagrams and things like that on some of the stuff, and even on the children's book.
You see the one with pizza? The one that said something about eat pizza, and it had the pentagram on it. I was like, oh my gosh,
eye on it.
Yeah,
for crying out loud.
It's like, how obvious, right?
It's crazy. So, anyways, I don't have the full scoop on The Chosen, but what I do know is this: there's a picture, a still shot from them working behind the scenes. They're filming The Chosen, and there's a pride flag there. Okay, and then deeper, I looked into it. Apparently, one of the cameraman cinematographers, I believe he was a Steadicam operator. Steadicam operator is somebody who wears the vest and it's on a crane and you walk around with it. It's called a Steadicam. He's one of the Steadicam operators, and he's openly gay, etc. I do not have the as far as what went down on set. I do know that Dallas is his name. I think his name's Dallas Jenkins, who is the director of The Chosen, and he's the guy responsible for. They raised freaking, oh my gosh, like 15, maybe $20 million, something ridiculous on Kickstarter when they did The Chosen. Guys, remember that when Worthy starts going. Okay, so but we don't need 20 million bucks, that's for sure. I can put out a movie. Give me 200,000 and I'll put you out a masterpiece. You don't need that much money. But and by the way, Nefarious proved that. What a low budget film. And I did not get a chance. I'm gonna talk about The Chosen. I did not get a chance to talk about Nefarious. I promise you I will do that in the next day or two. I will put a separate video out. I have a lot to say about that. But if you haven't seen it, it is worth it. Go pay the $19.99. Watch it. This film will never make it. It's not Hollywood. It's independent. It's low budget, but the script is amazing. It is fantastic. It talks about everything that's going on in this world right now by the dialogue. And you'll never see this thing at the Golden Globes or the Oscars. They will never, ever allow that whatsoever. And the performance by Sean Patrick Flannery, off the charts. And if I believed in the Oscars, he deserves the Oscars. He was that good. So go see that film, and I'll give you my full breakdown on it this coming week in the next few days, because it really ties into the film that I want to do. Back to The Chosen. There was a pride flag there. I'm going to tell you this. I have put out, prior to anybody knowing me, who 90% of the people who follow me that did not know me prior to Trump walking down that escalator, I was promoting the pre-production of my film. I had I started picking out a team. As a matter of fact, today I spoke to our lead cinematographer who's going to do Worthy. His name is Greg, and I spoke to Greg today, and he's super excited because it's been taking 4 or 5 years we've been at this, and COVID stopped it. And he's like, "Is it a go?" I'm like, "We're gonna go." So he's a credible cinematographer. The film is going to look so good and in such high quality, and I'm very excited to have him on set. And I know Greg's belief. He's done a ton of faith-based films. He's worked with so many different actors when it comes to the faith-based industry. He's done a lot of independent films. He's just a solid guy all around. Then I started putting together a production team. I'm not talking about the actors, but the production team when it came to either as a PA, which is a production assistant, or I do have an executive producer that has been waiting in the wings with me. He's very good at what he does. Technical directors and all those people who work behind the scenes. I never said one time, okay, that you have to be a conservative If you're homosexual, you're not allowed to be on there. If you're this, you're that. Never once. And I will not do that. Okay. And the reason I won't do that is because the Passion of the Christ inspired me, because there were atheists on that set. There were people who didn't believe. And that was the movie itself that people had a change of heart and they came to the Lord, whether you believe or not, but they did. That is part of my ploy as well, is to have anybody who, now, if you're on a set and let's say, I don't know what happened at The Chosen, if they're shoving it down your throat and they're wearing purposeful propaganda to get a rise out of people, that's different. Okay. As a director on the set or a producer, you need to pull that person aside no more, or you're fired, period. We won't have that on set. But we don't care that you're gay. We don't care what your beliefs are, anything like that. Just don't start, doing what they're doing in the world today. That's my opinion. I don't know the whole story on that. It came out that Dallas Jenkins, who is the director and the creator of The Chosen, kind of defended him. There's a video out somebody sent me. I have not had time to watch it. I'll watch it tonight. I'll listen to what he has to say, but I will not boycott The Chosen. Here's why I won't boycott The Chosen, is because I believe this is the hand of the devil right now, trying his hardest to take the most successful, next to the Passion of the Christ, the most successful, independent, most money ever raised for a series, a TV series, a social or online series. Well, I think it's on, I can watch it on Netflix or Amazon Prime. And I've only watched the first one. I have not had the time. One day I'm going to finally sit down and binge it. But everybody rants about it. So if it's that good and people are ranting about it, I'm not going to fall for whatever BS is behind the scenes. Take away the pride flag, take away the LGBTQ thing. I promise you that everybody that's on that set is a sinner, whether they just maybe the night before they committed adultery, maybe they did something else, maybe they stole something. Why are they any different? They're not any different. Okay, we've all come short, we've all fallen short to the glory of God. We've all sinned. We're all sinners. So I think we're focusing way too much, and the devil is winning at that war right now of dividing and conquer. And that is his only mission.
Right. And don't forget that Jesus hung out with the prostitutes and lepers. And
true.
And Jesus, it's like, judge not lest he be judged. So I, love the sinner, but hate the sin, all these things. Right. So I don't know that a flag on the set needs to be like, I get the idea of why it can be like kind of sending a mixed message, but it's not about, like, to me, it's not about, I'm not going to judge anyone that make, their life choice is their business. So what I have personally a problem with, and where I do get feisty, is when they're pushing it on kids. And so if someone's an adult and I mean, that's their choice. God gives us free will. So I don't think it's our job to go around pointing fingers and saying you're doing all this and you're doing all that wrong. So so I, like you said, everyone's a sinner. We've all made mistakes, and we all could have, if we had a tribunal of judgment, people could remember that one time in your junior year of high school. I forgot all about that one. Right. Right. It's so I just think we need to take it easy. And that's actually the kind of stuff that gives, that can give Christians a hard time, is that
correct,
the judgment and all that. And it's like, Jesus, let them know that we are Christians by our love. Right. And so you don't have to dig what they're doing and what they may do in their private time with their personal choices, but we don't need to be, slinging mud and stuff, so forth. So,
and I don't think, whatever the reason was, they had that pride flag out there. Somebody did it to cause an uproar. It shouldn't be on set. I wouldn't allow it on set. Okay. And anytime, I just want to put this, and I know we're going to wrap up, but anytime that I put something on my page when it concerns like BLM, LGBTQ, the FBI, whatever it is, okay, that is a faction, organization that wants to divide. That those letters are division. It is evil. It is out to conquer. All right. I have family members who are gay. Okay. I have friends who are gay, and they are welcome into my home. I will break bread with them, and it is not my place to judge. Okay. And I will not hit them over the head with a Bible, because I don't believe in that. I believe in walking a walk and being an example. All right. But I will never do that. All right. I'm supposed to love other people, but I will not stand for propaganda, shoving it down your throat and dividing because you have an evil agenda to divide and conquer. There is a difference. And when you can discern and see the difference, as in LGBTQ is evil, but I'm not saying, because there are a number of people right now watching where I know that their son or daughter is gay. And I know this for a fact, trust me. Okay. And they'd always ask me what I think. And I always tell them, I think I know I have a couple family members and friends who say they can't stand being put in the box with those letters. They don't like it. Leave us alone. We don't bother anybody. We just want to live our lives. It is the deep state globalists who are doing this. You just heard the guy from BlackRock, So they're playing. We're pawns.
So we can't fall for it any more than we would ask the left to not fall for it. You know what I mean? Like just know you're being played. This is an agenda that they're trying to. You're right, they're wrong. You're evil, they're good, or I'm good, you're evil. Like that's what they want. And still, at the end of the day, it would be nobody's business if everyone was just in abundance and in a place of love and high energy. You wouldn't be walking around being like, that person's not good enough. That person's not good enough. You would just love your neighbor, as we're told to do. Love thy neighbor.
Love thy neighbor. I am far from perfect. I have sometimes I have a mouth on me and I don't like it. Sometimes I drop my F-bombs. You guys should see what goes behind here when I hit end broadcast, what you don't see. It turns into that Trump locker room in a way, but not in a bad way. But do your best, be kind, love one another. And that is it's in our mission statement. It's not fake. It's not phony. And this is what I preach. And I've always said, well, one of the valuable lessons I've learned, go out and do something nice for somebody tomorrow and don't tell anybody. And especially go do something nice for somebody who you disagree with, who you don't exactly align with, and watch what effect you have on them. That you may not see it, but I promise you that person will go to bed that night and it will hit them hard. They're like, why were they so nice to me? That is the key. That is the secret to coming together and uniting. So, and then Juanita says, look at the people that came to God after the passion of the Christ. This can be the way too. And I cannot wait for my film Worthy, because it will have that at the end of the film. I guarantee, I'm saying everybody's going to run to the altar and have an altar call, but I guarantee people will step back and say, maybe I should look into this whole thing. Maybe there is a God who loves me and I don't have to run things myself and beat myself up so much and pop so many depression pills every day and just suck them down because Big Pharma or my doctor tells me to, because that's the answer. This is not the answer. But then again, disclaimer, I'm not saying not take your pills because I don't know your health situation. Some people need help, but there are so many other ways. And it's out there if you could just come to that point. The bottom line of Worthy is just like it's going to be dark. We're taking a trip inside of your head. We're going to show you the temptations of the devil. We're going to conquer every aspect, from sexual sin to suicide, murder, you name it. It's going to be there. Drug addiction. I am going inside the mind of an addict, and I'm going to show parents what an addict deals with in sobriety, the hard temptations he's up against, and that comes from the devil. It's almost like that, each shoulder, you got the good guy and the bad guy on your shoulder telling you what to do.
Like the Tom and Jerry cartoons, right? Like
yeah. But I'm bringing that to the screen. It's going to be amazing, and I'm very confident how it will affect people, because I don't want to make just films that are just meaningless. I like good films. I love meaningless comedies. They're necessity for me, because I love watching comedies like that. I watch Seinfeld all the time because I need to laugh. But I want to put out thought-provoking film that people walk out of there and say, wow, and they have a conversation about it. And not just that, it can impact their lives. And that is my mission in life right now, is to offer the world something that can help you become a better person or change, and most importantly, realize you are worthy. You're not this broken down guy who screwed up, and that devil keeps playing that tape over and over in your ear telling you, Joe, Trevor, Remember what you did. Who do you think you are that you can do this? Who do you think you are on this podcast? You got nothing to offer right now. What was Bruce thinking bringing you on here? You're not good enough. And saying it to me, who do you think you are having MindFix TV? Who do you think you are partnering with these guys? We're at Pop Talk and stuff like that. That is the devil. And when you put on the full armor of God and tell him basically F you and F off, okay, and keep that mindset right, you can conquer the world. And you can conquer the world and stay grateful and stay kind to other people.
100%.
It's the bottom line. It's the bottom line.
Yep.
So I'll give everybody my nefarious thing. We didn't get to all the news. We went long tonight, boys. I apologize to everyone.
My kids are like, Dad, what's for dinner? I'm
what's
like,
going on? I'm starving. I didn't even eat yet. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Again, thank you, everybody. Let's go around the horn. Let's say our closing thoughts. Joe, I'll let you go first. One last thing before I say anything. Thank you to the guys at Pop Talk. Thank you to Greg. Thank you to Art for coming on. And thank you for Peter for showing up. Now we know what you look like. And we appreciate it. Thank you for putting us on right in the middle of our show on your live stream. We're looking forward to working with you. We're looking forward to a growing relationship for sure. And once again, if you can, go to Give, Send, Go. Only if you can afford something. I know there are people in different positions. Give, Send, Go, MindFix TV at Give, Send, Go, and you can donate and you help us out a great deal, an enormous deal. I can't tell you how much you help us out. With that said, Joe, closing thoughts. What would you like to say?
Cool, great show. I love how we can be flexible and how we can on the fly create good content, and hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Thanks, Peter, for being on and all that you guys do. As the partnership gets clearer and clearer, and as we start defining roles, it just gets more and more exciting. And I look forward to where this all goes for our show and for the company, but also for everyone that's watching and a part of this. So definitely very exciting. Secondly, I know we didn't really get into the debt ceiling stuff. Tune in when we do the show. We'll talk about the debt ceiling. We'll talk about all the financial ramifications. Speaking of a lot of the, I think you mentioned something with BlackRock with the green movement and all that. Like that's part of the concern that I want to get into. Maybe I'll do it just in my show, or we'll do it next week or whenever. But a lot to unpack with the debt ceiling, so stay tuned for that. And then also just have some fun too. I realized this last week I had some personal stuff that was kind of deep, and I had to on Friday, and so I realized I've been doing a lot of work and trying to stay out in front of things, and then I just had some perspective about time and family and friends, and so I would just say, I know we got a lot of heavy topics and a lot of things that can take a lot of our energy, but to also just enjoy the ride too. We're here at this time for a reason. We were basically chosen for this, right? And so,
Amen.
Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy the things that you love to do, whether it's going to the beach or camping or spending time with your family, whatever that may be. I got a little perspective this week, and so I love it. I love to be reminded of that, because that really is why I do what I do. And so that's why this group here, these fine gentlemen, and all the other folks that are part of MindFix, and then for everyone watching, like, you guys really are friends and family. And so I really appreciate all of you. And thanks for tuning in and taking time out of your Sunday night, being with your friends and family, to come hang out with us. So look forward to next week.
Amen.
Good stuff.
Thank you, brother. Mr. Trevor, how about you, sir?
Basically, let's keep on keeping on. Same old every week. It seems like something new. The summer is going to be hot all the way around. Debt ceiling, like Joe said. Remember Trump last time he was on? He made his speech on TV that we're going to default. It's just going to be, at what time is it going to be? If this debt ceiling thing goes through, it's going to be around 2024 till they revisit it. And we all know what that's going to look like. So don't just remember, Trump has a hold of, McCarthy. So let's not lose all hope here. Let's not blackpill anybody.
Right.
But at the same time, stay out of collateral damage. It depends. How hard do you want to fight in this battle? You heard it from your enemy. we're using your 401ks, we're using your money that you give us in any aspect, in any way against you. So let's fight back. Let's not use a butter knife when they bring tanks, when they bring anything that they will to kill you. Because as you have seen the last 6 years, they're trying to kill you. Well, way longer than 6 years. But as the normal person sees the last 6 years, they're trying to kill us in any way possible. Dumb us down, then kill you, because they like that money and power first, and then just get rid of the eaters, if you will. So that's kind of my thing. Just stay out of collateral damage. Always try to stay 10 steps ahead. That's what Trump has always done. That's what Q has always done. And that's very good examples. So that's who we like to try to be like. And that's pretty much all I have for tonight. This is gonna be another fun week.
Yep.
So just stay hooked on Bruce here with the news. Check out for Joe's new show, which is going to be quite exciting to see.
Yeah.
And and Kirsty as well. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff coming all around. So quite excited here. And thanks to Pop Talk as well for trying to give independent music a platform.
Awesome.
So that'll be cool too. That'll be cool to see. So, all right, that's, and you guys can find me on Facebook, True Social, Twitter, YouTube as well, Crash Course Metal Show. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody, or if you guys want to see what I post, because on Twitter and True Social, I post a lot of political stuff. So recently anyway, so check me out there and see if you guys like that stuff. So, all right, guys, thank you for everyone for watching, and you guys can look me up any way you want.
Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate it, Joe. I appreciate it too. One other thing too, if you don't know, I did post it a few times, but if you haven't seen it, we are now tomorrow. You'll be able to hear the show, the audio version, because now we are officially and approved. We have MindFix TV podcast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple iTunes, and iHeartRadio. Yes, we are on all 4 of those platforms, and that is very exciting. So we will always upload the following day. Right now, you can go there. There's only a couple shows on there because we're only putting the new ones on. We have the great Nick Nannon interview, and we have Kirsty's first show as well, which is on there. It debuted yesterday. Or day before, I forgot what day it was. She was on Thursday, so yesterday, yeah. So it debuted, or Saturday, yeah, Saturday it did. So it's on there, and you can listen to it. So if you don't want to watch the video, but maybe you're jogging, you got your earbuds in, or you're sitting at work, or you're driving in your car and you got your Bluetooth, and you just want to listen to the radio, put us on there. You can go on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Apple, iHeartRadio, and there's a few others as well. So that is very exciting. So I do like when Trevor says stay out of the collateral damage. That's an awesome way. I'm still looking for my catchphrase. I don't know what it is, but I'll find it one day, So, but he has a great one. I absolutely love that. And we'll just let that one ride every week right now. I think that's great. Stay out of the collateral damage. Matter of fact, Trevor, you should call that your new show. But
that'd be a great band name. That's a great band name. Collateral Damage.
Collateral Damage is a cool band name.
I feel like there is a band out there like that now.
Yeah,
I feel like I heard it just like a couple months ago too. So
I can see it now on Pop Talk. The debut of Collateral Damage. Yeah, rocking out. So, but yeah, again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Sorry we went extra long tonight. It was unexpected, but we never know what the Lord's going to lead us to. So again, the bottom line is I practice what I preach. I'm an imperfect person. I try very hard, but I try to be kind to other people, lift people up, inspire other people. And when I catch myself being an idiot or an a-hole, if you will, I step back and catch myself. And that's what we all need to do because we're human. Acting out, starting a revolutionary war is not the answer. The greatest weapon we have is our mind. Use it wisely, use critical thinking, use love, gratefulness, be kind to one another, and allow God to win that way. I don't like turning it into a religious show because I'm very careful with that. And that's for another time. I can talk about that. But for me personally, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ. He runs my life. And anytime that I get in the way and Bruce gets in the way, he lets me know about it. Trust me, because I feel guilty. And then I pull back. So treat each other kind with love, respect. Support your Patriots, support your local Patriots who have small businesses, and any Patriots rising up trying to fight this great battle. The great battle is not just putting out information or news like we're doing. The great battle is rising up and starting something, and whether it's an entrepreneurship or whatever, and we will be more than happy to help promote you. I have said that time and time again, and I'll be glad to do that. Be kind, love one another. Again, I know this is cheap in flowing into that, but you see it at the bottom, our Give, Send, Go at MindFix TV. That helps us a great deal. Go over there, whatever you can give, whenever you can. It's always going to be up. It is not a campaign where it's going to expire. That's always going to be up there now. So we're going to keep Give, Send, Go, and then we're going to have our platform over at Pop Talk. There's a lot more coming. Again, I will go ahead and talk about Nefarious this week. Sorry, I didn't get to the whole thing, but go see it. Trust me, this way, if you see it, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Joseph. I am grateful for you gentlemen to be in my life. I really, truly mean that. And that is not me just saying it on the show to look good. I am very grateful for both of you and for everybody else who is now becoming, has come on this MindFix team. It is incredible. I'm incredibly humbled, and I'm very excited for what the future holds and for all of you to be a part of it. God bless everybody. Like Trevor says, stay out of the collateral damage. Love y'all. See ya. See ya, Joe. See ya, Trevor.
Later.
God bless, guys. All right.